Joining us now by phone.
Hello everyone and welcome to another MAGA Cope stream. How's everyone doing? I hope you're having a wonderful Friday and your weekend is starting out right. How is everyone doing? We're here to look at some MAGA Cope from the DNC and it's gonna be good. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm repeating myself a lot today. So anyway, we can get right into it, I think, if you want to help support the channel. Because I only do this because people like you help support it. Subs, gift subs, memberships, bits, tips, everything, helps. Speaking of which, someone got me something from my wish list. A couple things, actually, that I wanted to talk about. Thank you for adding a note. It always helps when there's a note and I can thank someone specifically. I appreciate it. So I received Space Sheriff Gavin. It might be Gavon. I don't know how to pronounce it properly. I thought that looked fun and looked very Sentai. So thank you for the person that sent this. I'll read the note here in a second. It says, from Midnight Storm, but there's a slightly longer one. It says, needed an excuse to start watching Metal Hero series besides the ones that became Beetleborg, so enjoy my motivation from Midnight Storm. Thank you very much. And then there's also Power Rangers Samurai, which is one of the seasons I don't already have. So thank you very much. I also do it because I love you parasocially, but you know, I have bills to pay, capitalism and all that. Get the gist. So thank you very, very much for that. This is a really, really fun gift. I appreciate it very much. So let me set this down and we can get started. Alright, so Mike Lindell has been at the DNC. It's a theme this year for some reason for Republicans to try and disguise themselves. Like they're Captain America, trying to be undercover in a baseball cap. And Mike Lindell decided to shave his mustache because I guess he thought that would be a good disguise. So let's check out the brief clip. And then him yelling at a 12-year-old, because that makes sense.
Oh, okay, now we gotta get the rest of the disguise on, okay? Let me see how it looks all in one thing. There. Great job. Here we go.
Thank you, Italian Shakespeare. Oh, is this the... If this isn't the thing that I think it is, then I have another clip I need to show you.
This would be, I'll use this, the police gave me this as the last, if things get out of hand. And that will be on me. Okay. We got this at a local hat place here in
At a local
Chicago.
hat place. That outfit doesn't even track. It looks like Mike Lindell trying to sell methamphetamine. Screaming at the radio says he forgot to punch eye holes in newspaper and to wear a trench coat. The fool! It works for the Ninja Turtles. It would have worked for Lindell. He thinks he's nailing it.
What do you guys think?
Looking good.
Mike spends a lot of time at the local haberdashery, especially because they have so much of that yummy, yummy mercury laying around.
I knew you would, baby. Love you.
Well, we hope it's all worth it, you guys. I mean, we've got to go. We're going to go into the DNC. We're going to get going there like this. We're going to interview. We're going to get people. I want to go find the media. I want to get to the media. So when the media is there at the DNC, then we're going to tell them about the event tomorrow here in Chicago, which is absolutely going to be the biggest event this week and one of the most important events of the year, because we're going to bring Democrats from all over Chicago that voted for Biden and now they're voting for Donald Trump, and we're going to ask them, why are you doing that? What made you switch?
What's he hoping to find at the DNC? Probably opportunities to shill pillows. Because that's his main job, is just pretending that his political aspirations have anything to do with his rotting brain or selling pillows. So let's see him yelling at a kid real quick and then we'll move on. It's a brief clip. You've probably seen it. But just why? Why? Like, I think it's weird to take your kid to, like, the DNC or the RNC anyway, if I'm being honest. Not really a place for a kid to hang out as far as I'm concerned. But, like, if a kid is there, why are you full yelling at this child like they're an adult? Very weird. Not worth it. Did I see James O'Keefe's Goofy Undercover video? I didn't, GC Archives. I'll have to look it up.
That's in your state. You want to know more in your state?
So
They
your
just
source,
found
you haven't provided any source.
257,000 votes. This happened last week. A judge ruled.
He's a content creator? Why is there a child doing political content creation? That makes me uncomfortable. Kinda regardless of their political affiliation. No child has insightful things to say about politics. No offense to children, I used to be one. I didn't have insightful things to say about politics when I was 12. I don't have them now. Unstable Deadbeat, thanks for a 5-stream streak, says the ironic thing is, I don't think anyone's answers would change if they knew who he was or not. I guess he and his fellows are just used to lying that he assumes everyone else is the same. Yeah, maybe.
In Georgia that are missing from the 2020 election.
So
This just came out. You're behind. You
So
should.
your source is Trust Me, bro? That's your source? You
No,
haven't
the source.
provided
No,
any
the source. It's in your papers in Georgia. You need to read your news.
You haven't given me any
You
last
need to
name.
read your news. No, this is your Georgia news.
Yeah.
This is the Georgia. This is your Georgia.
Thanks, buddy. Have a good day, sir. All right. Let's keep walking.
Thanks, Mike. You're doing great. Okay, let's see what else we have. Since we were talking about Mike anyway, let's see what he's got on his website. They've been doing a lot of DNC coverage. Oh my goodness. What's this video from him? It's called "The Polls Are Vital in Stealing the Election." Because he's still on that election theft bullshit.
I want to tell everybody that another big part of the plan, everybody, is the polling. And I'm going to tell you all about the polling, how important that is. We're going to be doing a lot of support of your Rasmussen, your Telfager, these polling companies that do.
The same kid asked Charlie Kirk, why did you say the civil rights movement was a mistake? And Kirk was not ready to talk to a black child about that.
Real polls, trusted polls, because you know what? They need funding. They can't just do that for free. They need funding, and we need to do that. Is so important, because otherwise what they're going to do, and they're doing it already, they're brainwashing you. All you got to do is watch what Fox does. Fox,
I've never been
Amala
brainwashed before.
Harris, and she went ahead.
Yeah, if you found a link or anything for things that are like MAGA Cope related, feel free to post them in the chat and I'll take a look if I have the chance.
In Pennsylvania, 1 point over Trump. They're lying. They're lying. They're lying. After the debate, everybody, of Biden and Trump, when they did that, Fox News and ABC came out and said that Biden was still ahead by 1. Are you crazy? That's not. I mean, who are they thinking? They think we're stupid? I mean, it's unbelievable. They have to convince the public, especially the Fox watchers, that this could happen in order for them to steal an election.
It literally can. This is like weird brain worms, because like I am hopeful for Kamala and Walz, and I'm going to vote for them enthusiastically, and I hope you all do the same and bring your friends and bring your family and convince people who don't normally vote to go to the polls. Great. But I'm not so self-deluded that I'm under the impression that Trump can't win. It's pretty even right now, which is better than we had before. But it's pretty even. It must be really frustrating living a constant state of self-delusion where you have to pretend everyone is constantly lying to you. No wonder you get all paranoid.
Again.
Maybe it's the chicken or the egg. Paranoia causes you to think everyone's lying to you. Thinking everyone's lying to you spreads into other aspects of your life and makes you paranoid. I don't know.
Or steal an election. They have to convince the public that it could happen, because otherwise everyone's going, hey, wait a minute, that's impossible. I'll give you a good example.
It's not impossible.
Everybody, is Ken Paxton down in Texas, the great attorney general there, probably the greatest this country's ever seen. And Ken Paxton, by the way,
isn't he supposed to be like on trial for something, but he won't leave his post and he's like not allowing it to happen? Is that the guy I'm thinking of? Ken Paxton? The guy who is supposed to be on trial for something, but just isn't because he is currently the attorney general?
the way, when they said in the 2020 election, Texas could turn blue, Texas could turn blue. Rubbish. They were trying to brainwash you all. But you know what happened in Texas? By the way, 1 million votes got stolen for Donald Trump in Texas, second only to California, which was 1.5 million. Third was Florida, 1 million.
Yes, it makes a lot of sense to have to do voter fraud in California and Texas.
What do you mean, Mike?
It's weird that not only does he think that Democrats are all super geniuses that are able to do perfect voter and election fraud with no evidence, but also they waste their time doing it in states that are either totally blue to the point that it's not worth it, or so red that it's not worth doing it either. That doesn't make any sense.
Trump won Florida. He won Texas. It doesn't matter. They still took votes from everywhere. Now in Texas, they didn't have enough on the voter rolls to steal the election because Ken Paxton fought all 12 things they tried to put in. 12 cases he fought and won. He's the only attorney general that I know of. I'm sure there were a few others that stopped these crooked Secretary of States from putting in stuff illegally when the legislatures make the law. They put stuff in because of the China virus, and they shoved these things in like in Michigan. Let's just send 7 million ballots all over the registrations, all over the state. Let's just dump them out. Everybody gets so. Hell, you can.
They're literally just, they didn't send out ballots to everyone. They sent out, the form to request a ballot to everyone, which nothing will happen if you don't fill it out. Are you just upset about this because people got to vote? It kind of just feels like you're upset that people are voting and you don't like that when people vote, Republicans generally lose.
You can have a whole pack of them. Heck, you can have this, everybody gets one. But the legislatures make the law. The stuff like that was illegal. You can't just say, hey, let's vote 45 days early like Minnesota. No, the legislatures make the law. You don't get to say it, Secretary of State. So when these things shoved forward, Ken Paxton in Texas, he fought all 12 and won, okay? But they didn't like that down in Texas because Texas still was red, even in spite of taking 1 million votes. They found 2 million votes later on, everybody, that they were going to use. 2 million ballots.
I like that he just says stuff. I mean, I don't like it, but I do find it interesting. I hate to cite the 12-year-old, but like, what's your source? Trust me, bro? Like, it really feels like he just says stuff and then expects you to not be like, wait, what are you talking about? 2 million ballots from what? What the fuck are you talking about? He just rambles, like his brain's full of holes.
Found in a warehouse that they would have
found in a warehouse. We found this warehouse full of ballots. They've been there for 4 years. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Used if Ken Paxton hadn't won that. So now here's what happened. What did the Uniparty do? And I say Uniparty because these were Republican judges down there, Republicans that did it. They voted to take away Ken Paxton's, the Attorney General of Texas, his right to prosecute one crime. Can everybody remember what that was? Election crime. What?
A, I don't think that's true. B, if it was true, that would benefit Republicans, considering when I actually hear stories of actual prosecuted voter fraud, it's always Republicans. Did I see RFK dropped out in favor of Trump? Oh yeah, I saw. I'm not surprised.
You take away.
I mean, of course you aren't either. You also saw the video where he was on the phone with Trump.
This Attorney General's right to prosecute election crime? Where's the nonsense in that? By the way, the DAs in Texas and George Soros got to them all.
Luckily, I'm hoping the kind of people that are stupid enough to vote for JFK or RFK Jr. are the same kind of people that go, I don't care if he dropped out, I'm going to vote for him anyway as a protest vote. Seems like those two stupid thoughts go in tandem together. Protest votes. Yeah, okay. Here's a protest vote. That makes sense. Really worth everyone's time. Black's Law Dictionary request. What do you want me to look up? Look up source? Let's see if it's in here, shall we? Source. Sus. Sovereign. Source. Might not be in here. Oh, there it is. That from which any act, movement, information, or effect proceeds, a person or thing that originates, sets in motion, or is a primary agency in producing any course of action or result. An originator, creator, origin, a place where something is found or whence it is taken or derived. Woohoo! Sussy source. Now, there was a definition here that started with sus. It was an abbreviation, but it was still funny. My brain's fried from the internet.
Or most of them are appointed by George Soros, all these district attorneys. So if you don't have Ken Paxton prosecuting
Did he
election
just say
crime,
that George Soros elected a bunch of attorney generals?
guess where it goes? Down to the district attorneys. Texas is a mess that way. So what do? They want to get rid of Ken Paxton. When Ken Paxton, when he got voted in, he was a 38-point favorite. So the polls couldn't even lie. They tried to say, oh, he's down to 5 points, he's down to 10. That's a lie, and everybody knew it because the real poll showed him up by 38%. This is why I'm telling you, everybody, this is another thing that I know I'm going to try and fund. And
I did see that Spokane Dog Man. I'm excited. I've never seen the show, but it looks really fun. And I'm excited. I'm probably going to pick it up at some point.
all need to get
At minimum, I'll wish list it.
behind when we
I'm a big Doctor Who fan, but I haven't gotten a chance to watch Blake 7.
call you. You guys need to be there to fund the true poll. This is very important. We got 81 days left. We start getting into the voting season, like here in Minnesota, where you can vote 45 days early.
Oh my god, so many people getting the opportunity to exercise their civil rights to fucking vote. What a travesty.
Just disgusting. This was even before the China virus. And, pretty soon you'll be voting. Hey, now what about the next election after you just got, we'll be voting, maybe on November 10th this year for the next year or for the next 2 years?
Interesting guy, this Mike Pillow. Let's see what else he's got. Doo-doo ba 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 doo ba doo boo ba doo ba doo boo ba doo boo. Oh no. Here's him defending the January 6th people again, because of course he is.
I got a case coming up in September, being a January 6th defendant. So my question is, I really want to put the election of 2020 on trial when I go to court, and I want to try.
You want to? That's not what this is. Your trial will be for the things you were accused of on January 6th. You're not going to put the election on trial? Like, they think like life is a movie. Life's like a movie, write your own ending. This isn't a Muppets movie. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. There's courtroom procedures. There is a fact that you are trying to discover, right? There's a finder of fact in the case, the judge, or probably a jury in your case, and it's their job to determine the fact that you're trying to determine. And in this case, it's whatever you're accused of. So no, you can't just decide to sideline that and make it about whatever thing you want. Not Airbud rules.
Get the information for my trial when I go to court, basically. I'm a black defendant, and basically what happens is, because of my color, they label me a domestic terrorist.
What are you talking about? Like, all of the January 6th people are domestic terrorists, and I don't know if you know this. They're vast majority white. What are you talking about? This in particular has nothing to do with the color of your skin, sir. It has everything to do with the content of your character, which seems to be pretty fucking shit.
If I was white, they call me white supremacist. What they want to use is misinformation to kind of keep people misinformed on what happened. What I was trying to get, I talked to several different people that be on your program. They had this one lady, she worked for one program. I talked to her several months ago, and she said she was for the January 6th defendants. I talked to her, and she never got back, but she's getting money.
Right.
But I did call in trying to find a way to get your information that you utilize for your case.
What part of January 6th was misinformation? He believes it's the part where people call him an insurrectionist instead of hailing him as a hero like he feels in his heart. Gillis Filler says there's no rule that says a man can't use a basketball for his brain or a stuffed pig. For any Invader Zim fans. That episode fucked me up as a kid.
That you had to utilize in my case, so I can put the whole January 6th, put the whole 2020 election on trial when I go to court, because it's never been adjudicated in a court.
No, you are correct.
Tips $1.58 and says, thank you for the tip.
And what he's saying, everybody, is there's no judge in the United States that's ever looked at the stuff from 2020 based on merit of the evidence. Based on merit, they've kicked the can on standing, sanctions.
Hydrate.
I want to tell you this. We're in a kind of a sad state right now, Mr. Delaney.
Literally, the Trump administration, or rather Trump and his people, after the election, tried to go to the trial, and it was kicked out because they didn't have any evidence. Like, they didn't have anything in their opening brief that was like, here is why we think this has the standard for being prosecuted or adjudicated, right? Because different claims have different elements that you need to show in order to show that there's a case, and they didn't do that because there was no evidence. So him saying this is nonsense. It's just objectively untrue. He is lying.
You know,
thank you for a 3-stream streak.
Tina Peters just finished her case, and they charged her with I believe 7 out of the 10.
Why does he never turn his goddamn ringer off when he's live? What is his boomer problem? Why do you have your ringer on anyway in 2024? I swear to God, if you have your ringer, like no one my age has had their phone ringer on for 15 years. It's not worth it. No phone call I've ever gotten is worth it.
Out of the 10, I don't know how many they say were felonies, but she tried to bring in all the evidence from the 2020 election that she got, which we have right here on Frank's Speech, everybody. We actually have.
Oh my God, again!
Actually have the.
How does he expect to sell pillows this way? So unprofessional.
If you go to inside the machines, what was inside there? So she actually tried to bring it into her case, and the judge stopped it. All the evidence.
Dillis Filler, are you okay? Do you need to talk about whatever trauma led you to make this horrible mistake?
To bring in what the whole thing was based on. So the whole thing was based on. Let me get this off.
Oh, now you'll turn it off. Good. It's not like you could have had the foresight to do that because you do this like every day.
And so I think you're going to be up against that. I hope you can try. I will connect you if you can get. He can get your phone number from you, and I can call you afterwards and connect you with people on our team that can maybe. It's actually a side team that does with the January 6ers that can help you and give you resources that we have. So why don't you can take care of you there, and then you can.
H. Barrett says, to be fair, some of us have jobs who are on call at night and need ringers that'll wake us up. That's true. That's completely fair.
Yeah. We can check out at least what they can give you, because we've been down this road already many, many times, and they will give it to the right person. I think I have the person in mind. But if you give your phone number to him, and then I'll have someone reach out to you when I get done with the show. Okay.
I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Yep, and thank you. God bless you.
The amount of, goodwill they show to the January 6th people is so disgusting. Just shameless.
Good.
Let's see what we're gonna do next. Oh boy. How about the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, which is Sargon's channel, though he's not in this video. Talking about the DNC. Here we go.
Surprise.
The title of this video is The DNC is a Freak Show.
Don't need me to tell you this, but the DNC, the Democratic National Convention, happening right as we speak in Chicago, I think today is the last day, is a rousing success. No, it's a complete freak show. That's...
Sir, you look like Inspector Lestrade, and you're calling other people freaks.
Right. Everybody who's going to be attending, has already attended, has given a speech, is supporting it monetarily, seems to have something wrong in the head.
No way. I never would have guessed this.
I know. So I thought I'd go over a little bit of the information of what's been going on. I want to point out, obviously, Stelios covered a bit of it on Tuesday, some of the ridiculousness. I wanted to go over a little bit of the ridiculousness and then some of the news coverage of what's been happening and some of the speeches that have been given. So first, just to confirm everything, yes, Harris is the official nominee now. She was nominated.
Yeah, that was pretty much a foregone conclusion, like 2 days, if that, after Biden stepped down.
After about 2 weeks since Biden dropped out. So she is the ticket, as is Walz. I don't know if we'd said that explicitly on the podcast, so I wanted to make sure.
Have I seen the video of Vance trying to act human in an ice cream parlor? I did. The employees were very cold to him. It was nice.
That it is said explicitly.
Just in case you've been hiding under a rock, yeah?
Yeah, that, yes, Harris is the nominee. And there is some criticism of what her policies might look like, what Kamala Harris's America might look like, because there is a rebrand going on right now of the...
He's looking at a article from the Heritage Foundation website, by the way. The Heritage Foundation are the people that put together Project 2025. So he's literally looking at a website and an article made by the same people that did Project 2025. Just put it out there.
Campaign, the way that they had to pivot and say that no, we're not doing Joe Biden anymore, we're doing Kamala Harris, is interesting because now they're trying to make Kamala Harris both look competent, intense, and serious, while also being cool, hip, relatable, personable, a person that you could run into in the street and get along with and have a normal conversation with, and not a shrieking awful harpy.
Oh, a shrieking awful harpy. I wonder if they said that because she's a woman. Do I even need to ask the question? That's literally an insult that dudes only, like, use against women. God damn. What if politician, but woman? Is this a shrieking harpy?
Have you mentioned the fact that there was a report, I believe it was leaked to the press, of lots of Democrats were encouraging Kamala not to release her policies until after the election?
I'd not seen that. I thought you were going to talk about some of the reports that were coming from within her own campaign and within her own offices that she'd worked out while she was in the vice presidency, of people saying that she was an absolute nightmare to work with, swore at everybody constantly, was incredibly...
Is this the line they're going with when their candidate's Trump? Someone she's incredibly difficult to work with, as opposed to Donald Trump? First of all, I don't know any of the allegations they're making, but second of all, your candidate's Donald Trump! He doesn't even get along with his former vice president, and potentially, allegedly, tried to have him killed, and you're talking about someone you think swears at people? My god. Benegagami says, RFK Jr.'s dropout speech would be great content for Tinfoil Tuesday. Noted. Jitara says they think the DNC is full of freaks, says the guy who works for a dude who built his career harassing women online and then destroyed his own political party for being an absolute idiot, and because he refused to apologize for calling the labor rep at the time so undesirable that he wouldn't even SA her. Oh yeah, Sargon's a big piece of shit.
Be rude and difficult to get along with.
I could never see that. I mean, not our Kamala, no way.
Not our Kamala, no way. Not our Harris, no. The way he said that. No, I'd not been made aware of that. To be fair, what are her policies?
Well, she stole one from Donald Trump, didn't she? No tax.
Sargon only shows up some of the time. These are other people he has on his show. Will Kale, thanks for an 80 stream streak, says JD Vance media team is doing a bang-up job of showing how weird he is, right?
Some tips.
Yes, because I've seen some criticism.
They always use the boss bitch narrative. Yeah, it's very bizarre. She's not, there's no part of her strategy that is displaying her that way. So it's just weird sexism. It's like they're fighting a straw man of Kamala. It's very strange.
From The Economist of what her foreign policy...
Was he that explicitly shitty when he was on TBR? Yes. Incredibly difficult person to work with, ironically enough.
Seeing what her economic policies might be that say that they threaten to be even worse than Joe Biden's economic policies.
What's she doing? Just going
Which
around
is remarkable.
torching factories deliberately. How could it be worse?
Possibly stealing change from the homeless.
That's not going to.
I know that would
the economy.
win. That would win your vote. I know.
It would improve the economy. Yeah.
Ha 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 ha, we hate the homeless. Aren't we relatable? Jesus fucking Christ, they just said it. They're trying to talk about her like she's bad, but they can't help themselves from showing disdain for, like, people who are the worst off in our society. What in the world? KKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKKK
But she is saying that she's going to be tough on the border. There was a recent advert at the beginning of August saying fixing the border is tough, and so is Kamala Harris, which completely ignores that while she was border czar, she let in 10 million illegal aliens.
Personally, she said, hey, come here. Come on in. She was at the turnstile. True story. Puka with 45 months says, oh man, sub baby 5. This sub baby's name is Pandora Phoenix. Pandora Phoenix. No, that's Borderlands. My brain just subliminally did a Borderlands name. That's fine. That's yours. Keep it. Chiba Hawk with 35 months says, non-Americans yapping about the economy while America is one of the most prosperous times in history. Income inequality is pretty fucked, but that's not really what they're talking about anyway. But I think to call it one of the most prosperous times is pretty tone-deaf, considering a lot of people are still struggling. But I don't think that's either Biden or Kamala's fault. It's the result of inflation, which happened due to necessary cash influxes to keep the economy functioning during COVID, as well as corporate greed taking advantage of that fact.
That's no small number, is it? I mean,
I mean, there was 2 million in the entire time of Trump's presidency, and she also, which is the exact same number as Kamala Harris's known getaways. So I presume these are people they may have picked up, and then they somehow managed to evade being put back.
Benigami says, notice how the only really accused women candidates of being nightmares to work with? I've never heard them say that about Obama or Biden. Also, she has a ton of policies. Free food for all school kids, for one. Weird how the party with no policy plans that they can say aloud keeps claiming their opponents have no policies. Also, nothing wrong with taking an opportunity or an opponent's policy if it's good. Yeah, they're projecting. And they know their audience aren't going to actually listen to policy positions and go and seek them out on their own, so they can just say whatever they want about their opponents and build a straw man of them. And that's what they do. That's like their whole thing. It's propaganda.
America's a big country.
Yes, but one of the things that's really funny to me, so obviously she's trying to be tough, she's trying to be serious, she's going to be the president that America needs to get it back on track. She's going to be the president that the country needs to make them serious on the geopolitical landscape again, which is what we were told that Joe Biden was going to be. But then he came...
I'd argue he has. He's done a better job than Trump.
Came out and was a dribbling, senile old man.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how that affected
I did show the kid already, yeah.
America's international standing, along with the Afghanistan disaster, of course.
Well, I suppose...
Who negotiated the Afghanistan withdrawal again? Oh, yeah, it was Donald Trump. Cool, cool, cool.
It does show that no matter who's in office, the government still runs mysteriously. It's almost like the president is not that powerful.
I mean, he is still president, let's not forget.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
What's he doing? They've basically admitted by having him drop out of the race that he's not fit for the presidency.
Mm-hmm.
So
maybe not 4 years from now. Literally, like, how many months left? 9, 10, 11, 12. It's like 4 months. He's fine. Dillis Filler says, have JD Vance trying to order donuts. Thank you for the link. We'll take a look at this. Also, do I need to tell... Do they not know about Reagan? Do they not know about Reagan's later part of his second term? Because, oh boy.
So he's still president. Why is that?
He's filling a lot of diapers in his spare time.
That's what keeps the economy going.
But I thought they were proud of the fact that Donald Trump wore diapers. Remember a while back when Trump supporters were wearing diapers to rallies in solidarity with Donald Trump? It's interesting how they flip-flop on the diaper issue. Take a stance, GOP. Are diapers good or not?
Joe Biden cleanup. So they've been posting weird videos like this, and yeah, I'm gonna say the weird word because yes, these people do come across to me
Not
as
the
very
W
strange.
word.
Because
They're really trying hard to recapture the weird thing, and it's floundering. Pretty good.
their whole tactic has been trying to call JD Vance and Donald Trump and all of the people around them as being weird and trying to
says a very, very strange person talking to another strange person, yeah.
turn the conversation around and say that, oh, these are the weirdos who are trying to put politics in your living room. These are the weirdos who are trying to... Well, of course it's projection, because... I mean...
Sir, what are you talking about?
Look at this. This is the sort of videos that they're putting up. Oh, Doritos acquired. I got you.
You see corn nuts over there, Tim? Oh, yeah, that's the big...
There you go.
They're at a Sheets. Green guy with a $3 tip says, Hannah, are you okay? Do you need help? I hope there is a blue wave. I'm doing good. I'm good. How are you?
Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with something like this. Well, yeah, they're pretending to be friends. They're pretending to be normal people going to a supermarket and...
Is it that weird that people who are working together are being normal? Like, I know that, like, I'm not stupid. I understand the cynical level of this as a photo op, but also they are just, like, people who have to work together now and probably are personable as they're people that have to talk to people all the time. So they are also just, like, getting fucking snacks. I don't think they're faking them liking Doritos because most people like Doritos. They're like crack. Ask Mike Lindell about that.
Passing each other crisps. But it's the fact that it's so phony. It's so fake. It's so disingenuous that these are just normal people. We're just normal, just like you. We could be friends with you. Look at how normal and cool we are.
Have you seen Trump? Like, I think this is an effective strategy. It's certainly a strategy, but I also think it's true. Between Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and Donald Trump and JD Vance, one of these two groups is a much more normal group of people than the other. And it's the ones on screen. Trump's a fucking weirdo. So is JD Vance. They can't even effectively fake being normal, is kind of the point. Like, this is not staged, but it is for show, right? Look at what, like, someone already sent me the clip. This is perfect, actually. Look at JD Vance trying to act normal.
The zoo has come to town. Thank you for letting us come in here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. Okay, yeah. She doesn't want to be on film, guys, so just cut her out of anything. Appreciate that, man. I'm JD Vance. I'm running for vice president. Good to see you.
Okay.
Okay.
I've been here since the beginning of July.
Okay.
For this year.
Okay, good. How about you, sir?
Almost 2 years.
Okay, good. Just everything, yeah.
Okay, good.
Here, some sprinkle stuff, some of these cinnamon rolls, just whatever makes sense.
Whatever makes sense. You know, how humans buy donuts. See what I mean? Politics historically is pretty showy. Yeah, people go into stupid diners and stuff to try and show they're a normal person. The difference is, some people can do that because at the heart of them, they are relatively normal people in extraordinary circumstances, and other people cannot. Trump and JD Vance are people that cannot because they're fucking weird. It's fine to point out that this is like, yeah, it's a little staged, because it's a campaign video, but it's illustrative of normal-ish people versus the opposition, which isn't. Brain Injured Gamer says, Trump literally lives on a golf course. How is that normal? Chitara says, oh, they said weird again. Hey, how's Shad Brooks, who they also associate with and have on this show? Is he still reeling from that time other artists and I drag his ass and constantly ratioed him every social media platform because he defended using generative AI despite acknowledging that it exploits us and is dangerous? Ooh.
Comes across as, well, again, fake.
I think that also going for that style of campaign just doesn't work because, as you can see,
again, literally, Vance is trying it and failing. So that's interesting.
See in the background, wherever they go, they have a massive security detail. You can't walk into a room and the atmosphere not change if you come with a bunch of suited and armed
a big
people.
Posse.
Yeah.
Sure, they're not hiding it. It's on camera. They're not pretending they're not running for president and vice president.
Yeah. And they've done it before.
This is the best they fucking have.
This is basically a repeat of videos that they've done. So this seems to be a specific tactic they're going for to try and make themselves look normal. But this one's even worse because, I mean, you can see the entourage and people filming them going, "We like eating snacks just like you do. Hello, fellow Americans. Aren't we normal? Are you going to be voting for us? We've got Doritos. Do you like Doritos too? Well, then you better vote Harris."
I like your favourite seed oil snack. Same as you. Vote for me.
Again, it comes across as...
Does this guy not like Doritos? Because Doritos are really fucking good. You said that derisively against Doritos. And I can't have that. I really can't. Almost on a hype train.
Fake, corporate, phony, whatever you want to describe it as, but it's very strange to me, but that's politics.
That's how politics is, man.
All politics is fake. It's all people who probably hate you in secret, trying to be your friend.
I think that's quite a stretch.
And then, you know, once they've got your vote, they'll stab you in the back.
Trust your gut.
As they always do. This is one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen, which is the vice presidential nominee, Tim Walz, talking about how the Democrats are going to get politics out of your living room.
Some of us who have less hair and are old enough can remember when you could go to Thanksgiving, watch a Steelers game with your relatives, and not complain about politics the whole time. Not be on each other's neck.
Are they going to try and say that Democrats are the ones causing this culture war bullshit? Republicans are the one that constantly instigate, foment, and manufacture culture war wedge issues because it's the only way they can get people to vote against their own best interests. Trying to claim otherwise is fucking hilarious and so off base, it's frustrating. 88% to level 3 on a hype train, thanks to Nemesaur gifting 10 tier 1 subs. Thank you, Nemesaur. You truly are the MVP of gift subs on this channel. Gift subs, as well as subscriptions, bits, all of those things help tremendously in keeping this show going. So, yeah, thanks everyone for your support.
Because you shared a commitment to democracy, a commitment to personal freedom, a commitment to public education, a commitment to infrastructure.
Who's not committed to infrastructure?
It's very strange that he's talking.
Who's not? What are you talking about? Many people, Republicans who don't want to spend money on it and instead want to waste time cutting taxes for the wealthy. What are you talking about?
Points like you'd be sat at the dinner table talking about your commitment to infrastructure.
Do you understand that, yes, in America, people, especially in somewhere like the Midwest, discussions about, wow, the roads are really bad. We need to do something about these roads. That is a common discussion in the Midwest, at minimum. Do they not? Do they not have that discussion? Yes! Those are things that are discussed by normal people. Do they seriously not know? Oh my god! BC Archives, thank you for James O'Keefe's undercover video. We'll take a look at that a little later. Much, much appreciated.
Together, and your commitment to democracy. Like, they're all sat around the dinner table, and obviously a typical American conversation is you're all discussing the particularities of democracy in America by Alexa de Tocqueville. That was the average.
They're eating your Thanksgiving dinner, and you're just like, so, big fan of the sanitation system in the city? It's lovely, isn't it? Oh, I love.
People do, like, yes, people talk. You haven't talked about, like, the trash pickup system in your city and how it compares to others. Like, I'm so confused what their concerns are politically.
But it's great.
I love that the toilets flush. Do you remember when the toilets didn't flush? Oh, it was a nightmare. Thank God for the Democrats. Under the nasty Republicans, the toilets never flushed. It was.
Hey, remember when Republicans got in charge of Flint's water and poisoned an entire city, including fucking children, for generations with lead? Yeah, I'm from Michigan. We talk about infrastructure, you fucking monsters. Jesus Christ.
Basically,
they're like so dismissive and blasé of real issues that, yes, people fucking talk about. How ridiculous and out of touch can you be? This is ridiculous. Goddamn weirdos. 88% to level 3 on the hype train with a minute 44 left. Yeah, I see the hype train isn't showing for everyone. We are on one.
And yeah, it's very ironic and very strange again that sort of talking point would be coming from a Democrat. These are the people who have been flooding your country with illegal immigrants.
What the fuck are you talking about? H-Baird says, what do they talk about in the UK at dinner? Person 1, our monarch sure is old. Person 2, indubitably. Thinking Sabercat says 2 words, Trump trout. Okay, I was gonna play this today, but fuck it, you send it, so we're gonna watch it anyway. For those that didn't hear about this, pretty sure this is from the same people that did Trumpy Bear.
A message from the 45th President of the United...
Minute left on the hype train. If you want me to get a Trumpy trout, do the hype train. Social Warlock says, I haven't gone to a Thanksgiving dinner because my extended family have been Trump supporters since 2012. Ew. Steve with a Q, thanks for 100 bits and getting us over level 4 of the hype train.
Ponds of America.
Let's make fishing great again, okay?
He's here, everyone's favorite fish, Trumpy.
This is a real product. Ads for this play on, like, right-wing news networks. Well, quote-unquote news networks like Newsmax.
Trout.
No one has ever seen a fish like me.
Trumpy Trout is an animatronic talking fish with a big personality.
This is $70. I looked it up. This is $70 with shipping.
I am the hugely bigliest fish in the pond.
Watch his fins flap and his large mouth move as he makes speech after speech in high-fidelity sound.
Some bass are bad fish, crazy fish, criminal fish, and druggy fish. But some bass are good fish, and I only love some of them.
Mount him to your wall or use the built-in stand to display him proudly on your desk. Now,
imagine you going for a job interview and the manager has that on their desk, but you desperately need a job. What do?
You'll never miss a Trumpy Trout rally.
I'm building a new pond, and the bass will pay for it.
Set him to motion activated to surprise his fans.
My fins are big. I have the biggest fins. No fish have fins like me.
Or turn him on and let his inspiring words delight the crowd.
All the fish love Trumpy. They just love me.
Catch Trumpy Trout for yourself or someone you love.
Oh, they can try, but they can't. They just can't.
Treat yourself to this limited edition Trumpy Trout for just $59.99. It comes with your official Make Fishing Great Again certificate of authenticity.
Oh, good. I was worried I was getting a bootleg Trumpy Trout. You can't have that. You can't have the bootleg Trumpy Trout. Benikagami says, rhetoric PSA, if someone says, no one is talking about X, in all likelihood, it's a lie. Either it is an issue that people do discuss, just not with the spin the speaker likes, or X is a conspiracy bullshit, thus why no one talks about it. The big world. Someone's talking about it somewhere. There's a lot of news outlets.
Order right now and we'll instantly upgrade you to the deluxe version with...
There's a deluxe Trumpy Trout! Oh my god! I was so worried there was only a standard edition. We're getting DLC for the Trumpy Trout now. The future fucking rules.
Desktop stand and Trumpy Trout jingle free.
He is the greatest trout without a doubt, the biggest fish.
And for even more fun, we'll give you a discount when you buy more than one.
Chat, how many Trumpy Trouts should I buy?
We got the shoreline secure. No bass in this pond.
Someone's fucking that mouth. If it works anything like a big mouth Billy Bass, it's not a good idea. As a child, well, as a teenager, I bought a big mouth Billy Bass and I skinned it. I took off the fish part and it's just robot stuff underneath. It wouldn't feel good to put your penis in there. Kind of like a Tickle Me Elmo if you skin it. Looks like that. Except it's more fish-shaped than Elmo-shaped.
Supplies are limited, so don't miss your chance to hook the greatest fish of all time.
I am the greatest trout, and there is no doubt.
This is a limited edition collectible from Top Dog Direct. Order now at TrumpyTrout.com. That's TrumpyTrout.com.
That was beautiful. Thanks for sharing that. Minute left on the hype train.
For years at this point, these are the people that are very eager for your dinner table to be filled with conversation of how you...
Bittergrin says, can it be hacked, reprogrammed to say other things? People have done that with the big mouth Billy Basses, so probably.
your son is about to be your daughter, about how you.
How was that disturbing knowledge? I needed the fish part, the outside, for a prop for a thing I was working on.
Son thinks
it was utilitarian. I didn't just do it for fun. I needed like a fish, a rubber fish, basically. Couldn't figure out where to get a better one, and I also thought it was funny, so I skinned the big mouth Billy Bass to get the fish part. Humiliated Grapes, thanks for 100 bits.
That he might like peepees, actually. All these sorts of strange, uncomfortable
pushing
conversations.
Politics in schools more generally as well.
Pushing politics in schools, how your son has come back from school and he's 6 years old, but he went into the local library at the school and found a picture of people performing fellatio on one another.
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
These
Are you talking about like a sex ed book for like a middle school or a high school?
The people who wanted to put that in, but they're trying to flip it around and pretend that they're the normal ones. That
Thank you for the hype train.
This is just how politics
The
is.
fact that you think that a bunch of children are looking at pornography or whatever you want to classify sex ed material as in elementary school in a library makes you the weird ones. You're the goddamn weird ones.
Has always worked in the country. It's the same tactic that Schmidt and other people have pointed out, that in the democratic conversation, they want to present some...
He's talking about genderqueer, which is not for 6-year-olds. No, that's for like older teenagers, mid to older teenagers. At minimum 15, 16. Probably older, though.
Subjects as being settled.
Mm-hmm.
So that they're beyond the touch of normal conversation.
But in politics, almost nothing is ever settled. That's sort of the realpolitik of it, is that nothing is sacrosanct in politics. Everything is subject to change, which is one of the problems of politics, really, isn't it?
Well, it's all about the competing vision of how you should live your life.
Green Guy with a 41.78 tip says, my wife is watching. Tell her I'm pregnant. Green Guy is pregnant, apparently. Congratulations. $15 away from the next costume month.
The governance of a particular area, and that at the base of it can descend into violence. Essentially, two existential threats to one another facing off, committing violence to try and assert their vision of the world. And so politics is basically the polite facade that you pop on top of that. And this whole method is saying, no, we've settled this, put it aside. You don't want to talk about this at the dinner table with your weird uncle, do you? So don't worry about it. We've got it, guys. But
I think he's upset that he's the weird uncle.
Again, these are the people who want your son to know that it's okay for him to chop his winky off because at 7 years old he's more...
For the last fucking time, first of all, no one's doing bottom surgery on minors. Second of all, the surgery does not involve chopping it off. We've had this discussion so many times. You don't chop it off. You need the material. It basically gets flipped inside out. It turns your outie into an innie. There are multiple versions too, but you know, a common one is that. You don't generally chop it. That's not how this works, man.
More than capable of knowing whether he's a girl or a boy. And Waltz himself is a strange figure.
Their staunch inability and, in fact, staunch demand to never understand trans issues is frustrating because they refuse to listen, you know? They could sit down with a trans person and talk about this and be understanding, but they don't. They just want to be mad about it and come up with imaginary fucking things to be mad about it. Alright, I've had enough of Sargon's afterbirth. Let's go ahead and take a look at some other stuff. Oh, this guy seems very normal. Typical Trump supporter. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Oh, that's the wrong link. Sorry. How did that even happen? There we go.
Okay, psycho chickens of cyberspace. It's Troy Casey, your leader, reporting live from planet Earth, also known as President of Planet Earth, with his trusty rusty dog back there in the desert. We're here in the Valley of the Sun today to address the State of the Union again. The circus has come to town. There is all sorts of buffoonery that is happening right now.
I'm not allowed to discuss the Shabambu stuff for the moratorium reasons.
Got this person,
we're on the P moratorium. There's no P in this video. Okay? You're the one bringing up the P.
Kamala Harris situation. She has been selected. Again, how did that happen? Don't we have some kind of Democratic delegate process primary?
She was the vice president on Biden's ticket, and yes, they do have delegates that voted for her.
People vote.
Benigami says legit one of the greatest things about Coconut Campaign is not only are normies finally paying attention to what freaks Trump world is, and it's forcing them to drop their masks and show the power levels they've been hiding. The attacks against Governor Walz have been so disgusting that even Matt Walsh and Ben Shapiro denounced them. Oh yeah, the thing that they did against his fucking son, absolutely sickening. Absolutely gross. Harold Elbelman with 40 bits says, got to point out some low-key casual racism in that commercial. You fish for trout near the surface, they'll go down sometimes, but usually no. You fish for bass much lower. They're basically bottom feeders, so Trump is a top trout amongst trout, and he's out to get the bass. If they add a black character, what's the betting will be catfish. Yeah, I hadn't considered the racist implications of the Trumpy trout.
The leaders in, isn't that still what's happening on planet Earth? And who is this person, Kamala Harris?
Been the vice president for 4 years. He had time to learn about the vice president, you know.
Big laughing buffoonery.
Oh my goodness, a person that laughs, the horror.
The cackle of Kamala Harris. And what is
legit, so many men just have a really weird derision for women. What's up with that? Like, do they have mommy issues? What is it? Like, just the existence of women in public spaces, like, pisses them off. And they get some sort of, like, rage of, like, I hear a woman talking or laughing, and they get fucking mad? What is that? They know that's, like, fucked up, right? They know that they should, like, get that checked out and see a therapist, right? That's not normal.
What is she laughing at? She's laughing at incarcerating black men for the use of marijuana and then cackling about it on the breakfast.
When she was the attorney general, she had a policy of trying to give people opportunities to not go to jail for that kind of stuff, did more diversion programs and stuff. So incorrect.
Breakfast Club, right? Is this really the person that we want in writing our laws?
Does he know what the president does? The president doesn't write laws. What the fuck? Does he think he thinks the president writes laws? I legitimately don't understand these people's understanding of civics. Phyllis Filler says, all the previously dedicated delegates become free agents when Biden dropped out of the race. As per the policies of the party, it's not as if the political apparatus never thinks of contingencies.
Vetoing, doing things that are right for the American people.
Yeah, I saw the Hulk Hogan biopic got canceled, which honestly, that was gonna suck anyway. Hulk Hogan's a shitty person. Like, even outside of the MAGA stuff, he's a shitty person. The MAGA stuff is the cherry on top of the shit sundae, so.
World, ultimately, because everything's holding on to a thread right now. And we have to ask ourselves, who selected her to come in? Is there any...
People, she was the vice president. She was the vice president.
Fingerprints...
Is the vice president.
Of the globalists, the puppet masters that are doing the whatever is going on. And
as we all know, Trump supporters very normal, dog whistling about globalism and puppet masters. I wonder what he's referring to.
And then it's almost like a child show, you know, it's like a gimmick or a joke, and all this buffoonery is happening, and then we're acting like, that's not what it is. Like, this person's an adult. This person has the ability to address foreign policy, foreign nations, start wars, etc. And all of a sudden she comes in selected, and then we're supposed to accept this and not question this.
Sir, you're not a Democrat, methinks, so you don't have to accept anything. You weren't going to vote for the Democrat either way, so I don't know why you care. By and large, the polls have shown that Democrats and independents that tend to vote Democrat are in favor of the switch to Kamala over Biden. So you're kind of just concern trolling, and it's not working.
I was listening to NPR, libtard.
We'll call that strike one.
Media outlet. Well, it all seems to be libtard right now because
strike two.
It's neo-Marxist.
Neo-Marxist.
It's Communist Manifesto, divide and conquer, control the people.
The Communist Manifesto is like 2 pages, and I guarantee he's never read it.
People. And that's coming out of World Economic Forum, the UN Agenda 21, written in 1990.
I never hear them bring up Das Kapital. You ever notice that? It's always the Communist Manifesto. It's because their entire idea of communism comes from pop culture and right-wing media, so they only have ever heard of the Communist Manifesto, which is basically a pamphlet.
92 presented at the...
Tara says, I'm so sick of Kamala incarceration talking point. These fuckers do not care about black people being incarcerated for ages for nonviolent crimes unless they can use it as a cudgel to convince us to vote against our community's interest or to prove a point about our inherent inferiority to white people. Yeah, it's fucked up. It's so cynical and obvious. It's nasty.
Rio summit. Ultimately, they're interested in creating a one world government. And I witnessed this in small town politics in Sedona, Arizona, when I was up there, because there was a faction called ICLEI, the International Council on Something Environmental. And it was a globalist faction, yet it was implemented by the city council and the mayor, and when I asked about it, they had no idea.
H-Bird says if he wants to learn about the Communist Manifesto, and then there's a link. You have nothing to lose but your chains.
Workers of the world,
unite.
Unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains.
Based.
They had no idea, and it had been implemented in 2014. So who is pulling the strings? Council on Foreign Relations, the Club of Rome, the Tavistock Institute, the Rand Institute, the Bilderbergs, the Trilateral Commission, the Committee of 300, the 13 selected families. You know, why aren't we addressing the bigger things of...
When they bring up 13 or even 12, often it's an anti-Semitic dog whistle. Has to do with the tribes of Israel in the Bible.
Life.
Or in general. Sorry, not just the Bible.
It's a little hot out here. The bigger things of life, like weather modification and the environment and what we're going to do for new energy sources. And I'm not talking about subsidized wind and solar. We're talking about root solutions, the etiology, the root of the issue, and then healing it at the root level, not at the surface level, which is what we see going on right now. And so back to the state
word salad
of the union. What are we going to do about it? I prophesize that we are all going back to self-governance.
I don't know why MAGA is so confused why we call them weird, you know?
Taking care of the instrument, cleaning up and purifying.
No, I think he meant etiology as an etiology, or as like etiological as opposed to teleological. He was trying to say, like, from a start to finish ABC, not a top down, but start to finish, like as in from the origin. He wasn't really using it correctly, but I think I understood what he was trying to say.
Our consciousness. We are only healthy to the degree we are conscious, and we are only conscious to the degree we are healthy. So getting back to fundamental basics, taking care of my side of the street, cleaning up my real estate that...
All right. Enough of spooky pants. Let's take a look at this that VC Archive sent. This is James O'Keefe. going undercover at the DNC.
To get inside them. Yeah, right. Here we go. Going inside the demo. We were going to use actblue.com to make the donation. If we could maybe have that money transferred through all these different people to make more of an impact, because it seems like that's what you guys are doing.
Yeah. So any questions you have, you can send to support.
Have you heard of James O'Keefe? O'Keefe Media?
I have. I'm in the cold too.
Hi. How you doing?
Can we leave out?
By the way, if you ever get like confronted with any of these people, your brain might make you go, I can one up this person. Don't. Like right-wing shit-stained people like this are bad and they're dumb often, but they are media trained and they're gonna edit it either way to make it look like you're bad. So walking away from them is the best you can do. If you ever get confronted by one of these grifters, just walk away. Even I would walk away. And I am better at this than the average person because I speak for a living. But even I wouldn't try to do it. It's not worth it. Skifazoa with a $14 tip says this should put you at $9.99 for the next costume month. We are 98 cents away from costume month 3.
What's the issue? What's the issue?
You guys seem to be harassing her. She asked for help.
Well, how am I harassing her? Can I ask you some questions? Are you going to vote for Harris?
All right.
No, as soon as I started asking them questions, they ran away.
Yeah, people don't want to be used for your propaganda video, my guy.
This is the new technique. I'll just ask questions. People run away. Undercover at the DNC convention as a Kamala Harris supporter, I wanted to find out what was going on.
The Thinking Saber Cat says, I have something quite short but hilariously bad, as Wild Bill videos are so offensive of late they would break TOS, but here he is claiming a drawing on a rock is evidence that Native Americans could see dinosaurs. Good lord. Okay, I'll put this over here really. What in the world?
I stumbled upon Dempalooza, where Act Blue had a booth set up. Here's how it went.
We are literally the facilitator of this digital platform, so you go into Act Blue, donate through us, it goes to the campaign. So we have campaign
Mint Knight with a $5 super chat says money for Hannah. Thank you very much.
in state parties, county parties, C3s, C4s, like pretty much the entire kind of ecosystem.
Melissa, thanks for subscribing.
Yeah. So it's busier in the morning for sure. Yeah. All right, what time's ice cream?
11 to 1.
You guys hear that?
I heard it.
11 to 1.
Make sure to stop by.
How much do I get? Do I get one scoop or 2 scoops?
I'm pretty sure they're like packages, right? Yeah, little package. Yeah.
Are they trying to make fun of this fundraising organization giving away ice cream to bring people to the booth? Because, like, that's just a pretty common thing to do. I don't know why they would even try and make fun of that. Yeah, you try and get people to the booth to try and talk about whatever your political outreach is, and a way to do that is give away little swag or snacks or whatever. That's very common in, like, political action, trying to get people to come to your booth. You give them some sort of opener, right? Like, oh, here's some ice cream or whatever. Common.
A wristband.
Isaac Inanimate says, Democrats caught bribing voters at convention with Cuban delicacy.
Inside Dempalooza.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Harold Elberman with a $1 tip says, cheers to everyone else who made this happen. There it is. Costume month 3, starting tomorrow. I'll have the voting stuff going tomorrow, just like we have been for the past 2 costume months. You can vote on what costumes I wear, and I will put together another poll so you can vote on what new costume I buy, because every costume month, I buy a brand new costume to add to the rotation. So that's cool. Thank you everyone so much for getting us to the 3rd costume month. Couldn't do it without you guys. And I appreciate you and all your support. Couldn't do the show without you. There is a hats off, Eyes Inanimate. What do you want? Oh, there's a wolf howl, so I'm assuming you want the wolf ears. Can do.
Very good. I'm good.
You're all set.
All right, thank you. Here we go.
Good morning.
Inside the demo. Well, here we go. The market has plunged again. The writing is on the wall. It's time to take action.
Oh, is he shilling for gold or something?
The elites and big...
He is. Bishop Gold Group. That's hilarious. Right-wingers and selling out their audience to gold grifters. Name a better duo. Siberian Winter with $1 says, get your wardrobe ready. It shall be prepared. Thank you.
Banks are pulling the strings, creating financial chaos.
Vote for a Mike Lindell costume. Where am I going to get that much baking powder on short notice?
To strip you of your wealth. Don't let them win. Call my friends at Bishop Gold Group right now. They'll help you shield your assets with gold and silver, the ultimate fortress against this financial tyranny.
Financial tyranny.
Act now before it's too late. Protect your future, protect your freedom, protect your retirement. I'll put the link and phone number in my bio so you can get a hold of them anytime.
Oh, I love the coat. I thought it was the Dodgers for a second.
I know, isn't this a great coat? I'm speaking. You like that coat?
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Hey, how you doing? Xander.
I'm sorry, is a Trump supporter trying to make fun of Democrat merchandise? Because, like, Democrats, by and large, and people that vote D aren't, like, huge on merchandise for their candidates outside of, like, conventions or voting day, whereas Trump supporters literally wear this shit all the time and is famously known for wearing hats with Trump's thing. So does he understand why this is a tone-deaf critique that falls on deaf ears because he's more describing his side than anyone else? Weird. Whatever.
Nice to meet you.
Jamie, nice to see you. So we heard you guys are having ice cream?
I've been at 11.
Oh, tell them about our company.
So we came by yesterday and we talked to Jose. Last night we got to shake Obama's hand. They let us go backstage, which was cool.
We got to shake Obama's hand last night. And we were kind of on the precipice of whether we should get involved, you know, but with all the energy and everything. So we're partners. But
in
also
life and
in life and in business. And, you know, we want to get more involved and
we're interested in donating. Then yesterday we were like, okay, we're all in. Which was cool. We met Obama.
In fairness, Italian Shakespeare, what that guy did was a pretty extreme example, but yeah, I don't know what they expected to find here. I really don't.
And that was cool, so.
I see Mike Lindell was charging $2 to watch him shave, as his amazing master of disguise was to shave off his John Holmes porn stash and dress like a normal man from Del Monte. Yeah, we actually watched the clip from after he got shaved, and DMC stuff from him. Weird guy. I know I'm using weird a lot, but I don't know how else to describe it. I'm falling for the meme. I'm all in on the weirdness meme, because it's such a perfect descriptor.
Well, if you wanted to donate, like, to the Harris campaign.
Yeah, how does that work specifically? I just told him, like, I want to donate, but because you can donate to Senate races and so forth, right?
Yeah, so any campaign organization that is running as a Democrat or progressive has the opportunity to be on ActBlue, and so if there's anyone in particular, you can Google them, find their link, and you just donate. It's a secure payment processing.
And what's like the max someone's ever donated?
Oh, well...
I don't understand what he's is he trying to make it sound sinister that there's a website that puts all the different people together for you to choose who you want to donate to? Because that's just effective campaigning. Do they think this is sinister?
It's probably, I don't, maybe you don't know.
So the state and local and federal, everyone has different limits. So you can look up the federal or state and local campaign limits for the specific area you're thinking.
We're excited about the energy. I was on the fence, but after last night, I'm ready to do it. So I guess let's go on the website. I mean, what do you think? Should we do it through the company or?
I think probably through the company would be best.
Capital.
And your name was?
Carolyn.
Well, I'm all on social media, and Elon, I mean, I don't know why he's become so partisan, like with X, I don't get it, but I...
That's a tell. He doesn't even know how to talk like a normal... Like, first of all, no one would call it X here. Everyone would be calling it Twitter. Second of all, I feel like people on the left have known Elon's a big piece of shit for years. So he doesn't even know how to effectively pretend to be his opponent politically. That's interesting.
I was on X and he shared something about...
I think it was about ActBlue.
Elon posted they were putting money in the names of other people or something like that?
That is not based.
With the FEC website?
Yeah, everything is. Everyone has to donate, and everything is put all their information.
Yeah, because it said that the FEC website had hundreds of donations in the name of a specific person. Have you heard of that?
Did you know that Elon Musk is wrong about most things he posts and is a liar? That's a fun fact.
No, I don't. That's not based on anything. I'm gonna grab. If you have specific questions, I can grab our director of different departments. But that is all based in lies. Of falsities.
Falsities. Yeah, I mean, I figured it was disinformation.
Yeah.
I just it was just I don't know. I didn't know what the answer to that was because I want to make sure that when we donate, it's on the up and up.
Yeah.
So
you got to put in all the information.
Is that person here? Is there someone's here now, or
just give me a second?
Okay, no problem. Hi, Jamie. How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for stopping by. You guys are just hanging out. You're all decked out.
Yeah. Thank you. You like the jacket?
The whole getup is. I have that shirt.
You have the shirt?
I do have that shirt.
Yeah.
I do have that shirt.
We were going to ask about donating, and specifically with the FEC website, it said that there were all these people that had donated through one person hundreds of times, and we just wanted to ask about that.
I can connect you with our comms director.
We were going to use actblue.com to make the donation, but we were wondering if it's possible for our donation to go through.
This sounds like he ADR'd this part. The audio quality changed entirely, and it sounds like he's talking close into a microphone on his computer at home, and he's wearing a mask in this, so you can't see his mouth moving, because this looks like it's ADR'd. As someone who watches a lot of movies, I'm pretty sure he recorded this when he got home to make it look like, at least this specific line, to make it look like he said something there that he didn't actually say. Brain-injured gamer with 100 bits says it's like he thinks one question will trick these people into telling them about some secret dark money web. Yeah, they're paranoid. Republicans are incredibly fucking paranoid.
If we want it to be most effective, if we could maybe have that money transferred through all these different people to make more of an impact, because it seems like that's what you guys are doing.
Yeah. So any questions you have, you can send to support.
Have you heard of
He's doing a reveal! He's doing a reveal like it's a big deal!
James O'Keefe? O'Keefe Media?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to.
Hi, how you doing? Can you answer our questions?
God damn, these people are fucking weirdos. Let's see what we're gonna do next. Here's Trump reacting after Kamala's DNC
Joining
speech.
us now by phone, the 45th President of the United States, former President Donald Trump. Mr. President, thank you for joining us. You were truth socialing along this
Truth socialing. Man, it's almost like that's a really bad name for a website.
speech. What is your first reaction to it real time tonight?
Vitara says, Sir, I don't know who you are. No, I don't want to know either. Begone, you Paul-forsaken heathen.
Well, the biggest reaction is why didn't she do the things that she's complaining about? All of these things that she talked about, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do everything, but she didn't do any of it. She could have done it 3.5 years ago. She could.
He sounds rough.
Do it tonight by leaving the auditorium and going to Washington, D.C.
She's the vice president, and the Democrats don't hold both chambers of Congress. What do you expect her to do?
And closing the border.
Does he know how civics works? Does he know that you need not only the president, but also Congress to agree to do things to get most things done?
She doesn't need a bill. I didn't have a bill. I closed the border and created the safest border we've ever had in the history.
What is he talking about?
Of our country. She could have done all of these things, and she could still do them. She's got 4.5, 5 months left. She can go there right now. She can do all of the things, many of the things that she's talking about and complaining about. It was a lot of complaining. She didn't talk about China. She didn't
If they would mute the music, that'd be great.
talk about fracking. She didn't talk about crime. She didn't
Yeah, fracking is bad. Fun fact.
talk about 70% of our people are living in poverty.
What are you talking about? The Democrats' messaging on income inequality and poverty has been pretty good. Siberian Winter says, and to think he was on a podcast talking about his brother's struggles with addiction and sounded like a normal person for once. Apparently he couldn't let that fly and had to remind us how much of an insecure asshole he is. The one thing he's good at.
She didn't talk about housing, really. The trade deficit. She didn't talk about child trafficking that she's allowed to happen.
What?
Because she was the border czar and she presided over the weakest border in the history of our country. It's an invasion. I was there today, as you know, Brett. It's an invasion of our country taking
It isn't. That's not what that word means. Fun fact.
place at our border, our southern border. It's a total invasion. And now it's starting at our northern border also, through Canada. And she didn't talk about any of that because she talks.
A symbolic symbol. Thanks for following.
She doesn't do. It's no action. But, you know, look, other than that, it was a nice-looking room.
Mr. President, Martha McCallum here. She
Martha.
said that she is promising middle-class tax cuts, and she says that if you are elected, it will cost Americans $3,900 more a year in increased taxes. She's tying all of that to this Project 2025. That's where that number is coming from. What do you say to that?
Yeah, if you cut taxes for the wealthy, you need to make up the deficit by increasing taxes elsewhere.
Well, she knows I have nothing to do with Project 25. They throw it.
Yes, you do? People from your staff literally fucking wrote it for the Heritage Foundation and work at the Heritage Foundation. What are you talking about? Your running mate wrote the foreword for Project 2025. It's in there with his fucking name on it. There are pictures of you on a private plane hanging out with the head of the Heritage Foundation. What are you talking about? Just fucking lying.
Put out. A group of people got together. They did a thing. I haven't even seen it. I don't want to see it. I told them specifically.
I haven't even seen it. I don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it. People know where I stand. I lower taxes. She's raising
If he hasn't seen it, how does he know he hates it? Doesn't really make sense, does it?
taxes. She's going to give a tax increase of 4 to 5 times what people and
Is he, like, hitting the buttons on his phone with his fucking face?
companies are paying right now. The country will go into a depression if they do it. She didn't talk about interest rates. I mean, the interest rates are now getting close to record rates.
Yeah, there's going to be a cut probably in October, November. There's going to be a rate cut. That seems to be the indication from Gensler.
People can't do business. Nobody can borrow money. People can't go to the American dream and buy a house because they can't.
People can't go to the American dream and buy a house. Does he think the American dream is a real estate agent?
Afford the interest rates, and even if they could, the money.
He goes on Newsmax to spiral even more after this, FYI. Holy shit. Can you get me the link to that, or can someone get me the link to his Newsmax thing after this?
Isn't available. She didn't talk about any of that. No, if she got in, look, she's a Marxist. She always was.
She's not a Marxist. Marxism has a specific meaning. Fun fact, she's not a Marxist.
She always will be. She's going to leave the border open. I was there today, and the Border Patrol, as you know, gave me total endorsements and all of that. I've gotten endorsed by almost every major police group in the United States. But she is a Marxist with open borders. She's not going to have any fracking in Pennsylvania.
Literally at no point has she advocated for open borders.
Industry, and our country is going to go bust. She didn't talk about the $35 trillion, which I was going to start paying off with liquid gold that we have right under our feet.
Bubble Homestead with 52 months says, my kid'll just miss eligibility for the next midterm, but will be eligible to vote in the next presidential election, so it would keep the Republic at least until then. That would be great. Thanks. Vote. Yes. Vote.
We were going to start paying off debt, lowering taxes still further. And, you know, she wants to raise the taxes on corporations. What they're going to do is pick up and move to another country, like the farmers pharmaceutical industry.
Where? The United States has some of the lowest corporate tax rates in the world. Where are they going to go?
Move to Ireland and they move to other places. Many of these industries were just they're international companies. If she raises taxes like she wants to do on companies, there go those jobs. I'm more interested in the jobs than the companies, but there go those jobs. And what's going to...
Hey, fun fact, I'm not going to advocate for policies that are effectively letting giant multi-billion-dollar corporations hold America hostage and say, like, you better give us favorable tax policies for billionaires, otherwise we're taking jobs. How about go fuck yourself? How about fuck you?
To happen, Martha, they're going to pick up, they're going to move to another country, they're going to pick up and move to another country where they're going to be promised taxes at half the numbers that she's talking about and more than that.
Mr. President, on the issue of immigration, Vice President Harris, like many...
I wonder if he was getting told in his ear or whatever, or if he just decided as a TV presenter to go, I need to get him on something that goes more popular than his rambling. We need to have him scaremonger about immigration, pivot to immigration, more specifically.
Democrats in this hall throughout this week have used the bipartisan Senate bill and your efforts to lobby Republicans not to move forward with that.
Oh, he lies about this and says he doesn't do that, even though he did do that, and bragged about it on Truth Social when he got Republicans to vote against the bipartisan border bill. He bragged about it on the internet, and now he's going to say he didn't do that. You know, like a liar.
Use the issue in this election as part of this speech. She said she will sign that bipartisan bill. She, to your point, doesn't talk about executive orders that could have been launched in the beginning of the Biden administration. But how do you respond to that? And are you ready to debate Kamala Harris on September 10th, given what you heard tonight?
Well, number one debate on September 4th at Fox, and she...
That's not a real debate. You just made it up, and then we're like, you should come on Fox on whatever on the 4th. And she was like, no, we didn't agree to that. And he's like, you chickened out. No, you made up a debate. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
Turned it down because, as you know, Brett, I was willing to debate with you and Martha. I was going to debate on September 4th. She turned it down, and I'm willing...
Yeah, because you wanted it to be on Fox News, where they're going to give you the questions and also have an audience of Trump supporters to cheer every time he says anything or farts. Woo, he's a genius. Smells like eggs.
To debate on, I don't like ABC. I think ABC is probably the worst of the group, but I'm willing to do ABC. I was willing to do CNN with Joe Biden, and you saw what happened there. I mean, CNN does not treat me or Republicans very good.
CNN has gone much more right-wing since their purchase recently. Kind of sucks. They're basically Fox News light.
But I was willing...
I would imagine some of that's because the only people at this point who really watch linear cable news are, like, boomers or older Gen X, so they're trying to pivot their politics to be more towards those people, but either way, it's fucked up.
To do it because it was the only way I could get to debate him and ask him how that turned out. But look, I am willing to debate, and I think we should do much more than one debate. But you know better than anybody, I'm ready, willing, and able because I told you yes, and she turned you down.
And on the immigration issue?
On the immigration, it's very simple. The bill was horrible. It would have allowed millions of people to pour into our country. Would have been...
How?
Horrible. It was a horrible bill.
How so? Give an example. Can you give an example of how it was horrible?
It was a joke. She doesn't need a bill.
It was horrible. It was a joke. A joke. Bigly. It was the biggest joke, okay? Everyone knows. I know a good joke. Like that time I went to the UN, and apparently I told a very funny joke because everyone laughed. I don't know what was so funny, but they all laughed with me. Okay? Bad bill. Horrible, horrible bill.
I didn't have a bill. I closed the border. I had the safest border in the history of our country. I closed it up. As president, now she'll have to get Joe to do it, but she could probably have a lot to do with that, right? Now Joe's missing. He's on a beach in California. But you know what?
You spent half of your presidency golfing and watching Fox News in your room.
Has to do, or all he has to do is say,
beep.
I want to close the border. The border is closed as of now. They don't need bills. They don't want to close the border. I stood at the border today in 100-degree weather, and I will tell you, it's a dangerous place.
That's just how Texas is. Does he think people don't hang out in 100-degree weather?
And I was being told by Secret Service and a lot of other law enforcement, sir, it's really dangerous here. I think it's time to leave. You wouldn't believe the things that I saw at that border. She's the border czar. Now she wants to deny that, but she's the border. In any event,
Man, they keep bringing up this border czar bullshit.
Charge of the border.
Fucking funny.
She's the worst border czar in the history of the world. There's never been a border so unsafe as this one. 20 people, 20 million.
That's objectively untrue, by the way. That's definitely not true.
Poured into our country. Many of them from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylum, and record number of terrorists and other countries.
we gotta stop the senile old man ramble, Mr. Former President.
Are releasing their prisoners from their jails. They're emptying out their jails into the United States of America because of her incompetence and her...
Once again, he doesn't understand that seeking asylum has nothing to do with insane asylums. That's not what that word means.
Bad border policies. She is a horrible, horrible person to run this country. We won't have a country if she gets elected.
Let me ask you this, sir. There has been a huge appeal and momentum for women voters. She's trying to pull the youth vote, the Hispanic vote.
Pretty sure she has the youth vote.
The black vote back in her direction. Polls show that she's having some...
I'm pretty sure the highest proportion of the black vote that Trump got was 12%. Which, like, don't get me wrong, is historically high for a Republican. Usually lower than that. I think his first election it was around 8 or 9%. Second election it was 12%. It's not that high anyway, so even talking about it like it's an issue is a little strange.
Some success in that at this point. So what are you going to do? What's your strategy to rebuild the momentum that you had with those voters?
No, she's not having success. I'm having success. I'm doing great with the Hispanic voters.
I'm having success.
Rebuild the momentum that you had with those voters.
I like that his strategy is just complete abject denial of reality. He can just keep this up. That's great. Keep it up, Trump. You're fucking nailing it.
No, she's not having success. I'm having success.
She's not having success. I'm having success. I'm the most successful. I'm the best president of all time. Everyone agrees.
I'm doing great with the Hispanic voters. I'm doing great with black men. I'm doing great with women because women want safety. They want safety, and they don't have...
I'm doing great with women. I don't even want to finish the joke I was going to make. It's terrible. Donald Trump is a rapist, fun fact. I can say that because legally, it's fucking true.
Have safety when they have somebody...
I think it's also literally true, but I'm just not worried about it legally considering he's been found liable for rape.
Allowing 20 million people into our country, many of them very dangerous people. No, it's only in your eyes that they have that, Martha. We're doing very well in the polls. We're leading in most of the polls. And in the swing states, we're leading in almost every one of them.
Mr. President, let me interrupt.
The auto workers are voting for me because you're not going to have an auto industry if she gets elected. They're going to all electric cars. All electric cars are going to be made in China. And you're not going to have, you literally will not have an auto industry. The United Auto Workers ought to be ashamed of themselves. They sold the workers down the tubes.
Two quick things as we wrap up here, Mr. President.
Gamer G says, hey Chad, if you're enjoying Trump meltdown like this, imagine how bad he and MAGA will be coping if he loses in November. Just not just that, but Hillary Clinton will see the first woman president and it not be her. Not often do you get to spite both Trump and the Clintons. I know I'm looking forward to the cope content. If Kamala wins and Trump loses, we're going to have like a whole day MAGA cope. We're going to do like 8 hours of MAGA cope. It's going to be fucking beautiful.
Tomorrow, do you expect to be endorsed by Robert F. Kennedy Jr.? And are you...
Did he get the endorsement of the brainworms? Or are they voting third party?
Making a specific effort in Georgia to make up, if you will, with the governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp?
Well, I just saw Brian on...
Are we going to cover election night? Probably not. I'm gonna be too stressed. I need to not probably be on screen during that. Rather not cry on stream if he wins, you know?
A very good man. Did you ever hear of a man named Sean Hannity? And he was interviewed by Sean Hannity, and he was very nice, and he said he wants Trump to win, and he's going to work with me 100%, and I think we're going to have a very good relationship with Brian Kemp, and that was on just before you people went on with that speech that we just listened to.
And RFK Jr.?
It just happened. And as far as RFK, I've had a great relationship with him over the years. I respect him. He respects me. I have no idea if he's going to endorse me. I know he's got a news conference. We happen to be in the same state. Arizona will be in the same state, but in quite different parts of the state. But it's possible we will be meeting tomorrow, and we'll be discussing it. He said, look, he was treated very unfairly by the Democrats. He would have beaten Joe Biden in a Democrat primary.
No, he would not have. Oh, my God.
No doubt about it. And they made it absolutely impossible for him. They made it that you have to get 60, 70% of the vote just to get in. And you know what?
President.
In the end, the Democrats...
I think it's like 15% of the vote. I don't know the exact number, but it's not 60. It's some fraction that's like not over half.
The same thing.
I thought it was like 15% or something like that.
To Joe Biden. They threw Joe Biden out of the party.
And that's why we saw
the zoom in as they're trying to kick him off.
a different night tonight.
Mr. President, thank you so
very
much
sir.
for the time. We appreciate that live feedback.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click.
Get fucked, Hannity. I hope him and O'Reilly have a reunion very soon. Oh, Trump is live now. Oh, he's on. He's not on yet.
In this arena out, we've got.
All right, let's see what we're gonna do next. Oh, this looks great. Truly, the classiest people on the planet, these Republicans. If this wants to load.
I refuse to. I'm an infidel. I'm a 3%er and I'm a 1%er. That equals 4%. And I don't like the state of America right now.
I'm a 3%er and a 1%er. That makes 4%. And I do not like the state of America right now.
No, this is my America and I'm taking it back. We're going to have Trump in office. Trump's coming back.
Rage and Rob has not had any new videos recently, I checked.
You won't let me buy my stuff. You're right, I won't let you buy your stuff.
Sorry, Fenekagami, I'll get him in a sec. Well, that was cathartic. Fenekagami says, Trump has been feeling the heat. Former campaign workers have said that his behavior is quintessential Trump crisis mode. When things go wrong for him, he thinks he's the only one who can fix it. That's why he's doing the press conferences, but he's got popularity back because voters forgot what he was like. And now he's reminding people why they hate him. Yeah. He's kind of having like a narcissistic collapse. It'd be really scary to see in real time if it wasn't someone that was that evil. Try this one. Oh, before we do this, I gotta do my calls to action, you know, capitalism, all that jazz. If you like the show and want to help support it, make sure you A, follow and subscribe, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube. If you want to help financially support the show, subscriptions, gift subscriptions, memberships, bits, and tips always help. Thank you.
Your freedom is up for the taking. It's sad, but that's what's happening. And those doing
this is the shilling he's doing before his scare video.
The taking committed to defend your freedom, but they can't take away what they've never given you: peace of mind. Are your shelves stocked with 3 months of food? That's peace of mind. Go to preparewiththinkaboutit.com and save $200. If you go there today, you can save $300 off on their 3-month.
These are basically the Jim Baker buckets that are giant buckets of like freeze-dried or like dried fucking food for the apocalypse. Remember the Jim Baker bucket? Hold on, if you don't, let me pull it up real quick, so you know what he's talking about.
Welcome to the Jim Baker Show. Here are your hosts, Jim and Lori.
Phoenix Leftist, thanks for gifting a sub.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gray Street. Hi there. The man who discovered the blood moons is here with us.
Yes.
Mark.
Oh, Phoenix Leftist, thanks for gifting a sub.
Bill says,
It is. It's cheesy rice.
Back home. Thank you for coming back.
Great
to have you back, Mark.
One thing, I don't know how many of you realize it, I think most of you here do, because your audience is pretty sharp.
Oh, they are.
But just like you celebrate your birthday every year on your birthday, I love that.
Yes.
Most people may not realize it, but this coming Monday is the very day Adam opened up his eyes for the first time.
That's not something that you can know based on the Bible.
In the Garden of Eden, and he proclaimed God as king.
Wow.
That's the anniversary of the creation of the world.
Wow.
The world and Adam, biblically, were different days, so they can't be the anniversary on the same day. Adam's like day 5 or 4, I don't remember exactly.
Days later is Yom Kippur, the Day of Judgment.
Do y'all get that?
I want to see him get to the bucket. Hold on.
Addition say yesterday was the last day to order and get prepared.
This offer comes with 22 buckets, plus a bonus of 6 additional buckets for a total of 28 buckets.
I want to show you something. All this food is for a gift of $2,500. 8 years of bulk food. This is what you should be doing. Wow. John, you come on. You're the rights preacher. You told me to do this. Look at, they got shovels. By the way, get a shovel. These are foldable shovels. It'll go in your backpacks. This is how you dig the latrine. We made up, they've been cooking during the show. Wow. And this rice is hot. Woo, it just made.
Yes, it just came out.
Wow, that's good. Oh, I mean, they just cooked this rice, you know. I'm hungry. I've been on this show for about 5 hours right now. I shouldn't put my hands in them. I love you, man. I love you too. Oh my goodness, I'm eating rice on the show. Okay.
Buy bulk MREs like a normal person.
It's 22 gallons of rice. Here, John, you shovel it. Okay, shovel it back over there. It looks like a snow pile in there. Boy, look at the steam come out of it. Wow. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Boy, would I love to put my hands in there, but it's hot. This is
the cheesy broccoli rice.
Look at the broccoli in there.
Oh.
Wow. Look at the broccoli. That's good. Why wouldn't you want that on the top of a pizza? If I went grocery out, I would eat right out of this shovel. Wow.
Cheddar doesn't go on a pizza.
There it goes. We're dumping 22 gallons into the rice. There it goes. Wow. Into the rice. Now I have 44 gallons. What if you have to survive for 2 years or 3 years? You're going to need...
No, I've not had MREs myself. They look pretty bad. I've seen the videos of people eating them. Anyway, that's the kind of thing this guy is selling. Just wanted to show you the nasty slop he's shoveling to people.
Emergency food kit. Over 2,000 calories every day. Lasts up to 25 years. Absolutely delicious. Get $300 off and free shipping at preparewiththinkaboutit.com. That's preparewiththinkaboutit.com.
impulses are being redirected.
Gotta skip this. That's a clip from They Live, which is a movie about capitalism.
Hi, Steve here. I don't know if you watched...
You know what makes a good double feature? They Live and Society. Watch those movies.
Any of this DNC convention, I couldn't stand to watch it myself. If you're a liberal, if you're a left-wing, a liberal, whatever you want to be called, if you're somebody who believes everything you saw and everything you heard from the people who spoke at this DNC, I'm afraid you are in a dangerous place because you're believing liars. You're believing lies, you're believing gaslighting, and you're being deceived.
This is a Trump supporter.
On a massive scale. Now, some people say America is on the precipice. We're on not a crossroads. A crossroads wouldn't be a big deal. We are on the edge of the cliff. We're right at the edge of the cliff, ready for one false step, and we're going over. They already tried to kill Donald Trump. And
A singular guy tried to kill Donald Trump.
I just want to say this, because I mean it. I am not into politics. I actually...
Yeah, and the guy that did it was Republican, so...
hate politics, but
I hate politics. That's why I made this video called Evil Flaunts, all about how evil Democrats are. Apolitical, though.
Truth is, political people have a place in this country. They have a place, and if they're good people, if they're righteous people, and want to do what's right, and they want to follow the authority of what God Almighty has said...
Not political, though. He's not political, folks. He just thinks that one particular party follows the will of the almighty singular God of the universe, and the other one is full of demons. He's not political, though.
These are the kind of people we need in public office. Everywhere, from our state, city governments, to the federal government. But we need way, way less federal government. We need people that are into serving others. We need people who believe...
So not Republicans.
...in the Constitution. Because the Constitution was really written for people. In America.
Certain kinds of people. If you look at that thing, it's not exactly all-encompassing.
America. So, the truth is...
We had to do amendments for that.
We're on that edge. And if anything happens to Donald Trump before this election, and he's not able to win and get into the White House, for whatever reason, we will see the push of America right off the cliff.
Bittergrin says, I wish there were more demons in the Democratic Party. It would help my dating life. Have you tried summoning a succubus or incubus? Just a thought. It's always an option. Or Tinder.
And I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm not exaggerating.
I'm not exaggerating. These people are literal demons! I'm not exaggerating when I say the Democrat Party's full of demons, brother. Get my bone broth to protect yourself from the demons. Why did I go into my... turn very Alex Jones for some reason?
We need a good man in the White House. Not a perfect man, but somebody who's not opposed to Christian values, who's not opposed to...
He's a rapist.
Doing what's right before God.
He's a rapist, philanderer, probable pedophile. He's a fucking wealthy asshole obsessed with wealth, self-interested. Like, I'm not a Christian, but neither is Trump. Like, Trump is not a Christian man.
And man. And as far as I know, Donald Trump, J.D. Vance are the only people in this race that even come close to doing that. If you can't see, if you can't understand what's happening in this country right now and in the world, you have been deluded. The Bible talks about it. The Apostle Paul speaks about it to the Thessalonian peoples. He said they're going to be given over to a strong delusion.
Oh, thank goodness I'm not a Thessalonian.
That they might believe the lie, because they would not receive the love of the truth. What is the love of the truth? The love of the truth is that Jesus Christ came to this earth and died, rose again from the dead, proving that he was God's son. He brought eternal life to those who would put their trust in him. So my question is this: are you ready to die? Because really, that's the bottom line. If we don't see a total turnaround, a total flip-flop from the evil that we see right now running this country, we are finished. And if we're not finished by those from inside who continue to try and destroy us, we'll be finished from outside. We've supported corrupt government regimes all over this earth through the CIA and other organizations. It's time the judgment begins with the house of God.
Jesus Christ.
And then what will the end be for those
This guy's scary.
who are left of this world without Christ? But if you're breathing right now...
Like, this isn't even just, like, Christian dominionism. This isn't Christian nationalism. This is, like, Christian imperialism? It sounds like he wants to not just be, like, a Christian nationalist, but then, like, take the show on the road and spread and do a whole new fucking crusade. Very stable behavior.
Now, if you're living and you're watching this video, and you don't know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, I invite you to invite him in and make him the Lord of your life. I leave a link in the description box below. You probably heard me say this if you've watched other videos. That link is there to help those who want to pray a simple prayer, to start their walks, to start...
Each will kill the virus in 5 minutes.
This is much higher than...
You know...
Unturned on the...
Trump, history of the...
Assets, smoke...
Democracy...
Treasonous fool.
Okay, we'll watch this section. Whatever the fuck it is.
Think about it.
Tried to Democrats and
Left.
I do. Think about it.
The grand order of the Marxist left.
When I think of Marxism, I think about this DNC.
Left, no hoax unturned on the first night of the Democratic national catastrophe.
Democrats in Congress tried to lower the cost of health care.
And when I logged on, I was like, no, this is very bad. This is much higher than we were currently paying.
Donald Trump downplayed the virus. He told us to inject bleach into our bodies. We've tested bleach. We've tested isopropyl alcohol on the virus, specifically in saliva or in respiratory fluids.
Yeah, that's ex vivo. He was talking about in your body. That's what he said. They're talking about externally. You fucking idiot.
And I can tell you that bleach will kill the virus in 5 minutes. We're also looking at other disinfectants, specifically looking at the COVID-19 virus in saliva.
But it sounds interesting to me.
Donald Trump did.
That was not the full quote. He literally talked about, like, injecting bleach and using light to get rid of the virus. Like, he didn't even show the actual clip they were talking about.
History.
The point was that Donald Trump misinterpreted bleach as a disinfectant for a cure. That's the point.
Let's give him credit. He is one of only 2 presidents in the history of the United States to leave office with fewer Americans working than when he started.
That is one of the non-medical effects of the coronavirus, this record-breaking jump in unemployment claims. We learned today that more than 3 million Americans filed for those benefits last week.
JD has been our senator for 18 months. And what has he done for hard-working Americans? Nothing.
For the people who live near the derailment site, just last night, people packed a town hall meeting in search of answers about whether their air and water are safe.
This is a regulatory problem and a legal problem. So the Department of Transportation could implement regulations that would have these trains declared high hazardous.
They did, and then those regulations were undone under the Trump presidency. Are they serious? The regulations that made them have to actually slow down in these residential areas was removed by the Trump administration, and that's what caused the fucking problems. H-Bird says, everyone goes on and on about hardworking Americans. What about us lazy Americans? Who's fighting for us?
This is Project 2025.
With this, I don't know what the hell it is. It's Project 25. He's involved in Project, and then they read some of the things, and they are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme.
They are. And the people that you work with are the ones that wrote it. So that's fun. H-Baird says, everyone goes on and on about hard work. Oh, I just read that. I apologize.
But I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it.
Their defense is that Trump said he didn't know about it. Do they think Donald Trump is a trustworthy person?
We need to
or a consistent person?
Beat back the dangers that Trump and his allies pose to the rule of law and our way of life.
Hillary Clinton is being forced to answer more questions about her past email practices after the...
I'm sorry, who got indicted and convicted of over 30 felonies? Which one again? Curious. Dilla Spiller says, everyone goes on and I just read this again. Oh no, okay. That did actually get posted again. God damn it. You got me, Dilla Spiller.
The FBI uncovered nearly 15,000 previously undisclosed emails and other
yeah, she ended up getting clear to that.
Documents.
While many seats remained empty, the Chinese assets smugly pushed America.
The Chinese assets.
Into civil war and economic ruin.
We meet in this great
and I you, Dilla Spiller.
Tonight, where Abraham Lincoln was nominated in 1860 to save the Union from fanatical insurrectionists, and where Franklin D. Roosevelt was renominated by Democrats in 1940 to defeat fascist dictators. Now, we fight in our time to defend our freedom and our democracy against the banana Republicans who have converted Lincoln's party into a dangerous cult of personality.
And as humanity faces a fertility extinction crisis by
what?
2045,
what are you talking about?
the Democrats' strongest policy position argues that increasing abortions is a matter of life and death.
Yes, having a right and access to safe medical procedures is a fucking right.
And J.D. Vance,
they're so obsessed with cum.
Calls pregnancy resulting from rape inconvenient. Like, inconvenience is traffic. I mean, make him go through this.
And as Ashley Biden spoke, those that knew of her diary couldn't help but superimpose it
the
on
diary was fucking fake. Now they're doing more hoax shit.
Speech.
As a child, I would sit on the leather chair in his office
Christ,
doing my
man.
homework, and he would sit next to me doing his work.
And as Hunter Biden hid in the shadows backstage due to his glowing criminality, they rolled the big guy out as the crowd cheered relentlessly for a treasonous fool that traded untold U.S. secrets to foreign assets.
Trump is the one on fucking trial for that. What are you talking about? The projection. They have nothing. They literally just try an Uno reverse card. No you. What are you talking about?
Selling out the U.S. taxpayers to build a family fortune of at least $27 million.
Women are not without electoral or political power. In the pandemic, Kamala and I helped states and cities get back their schools back open.
4 million. I don't even understand why they're still trying to hit on Biden. He's not running anymore. He's an old guy. He's had a speech impediment his whole life. It's getting worse because he's older.
Desperate to reopen schools because he thinks it will save his re-election.
We have to open the schools.
Critical shortage of PPE.
Threatening their funding.
When they don't open their schools, we're not going to fund them.
Ignoring how the virus spreads. Risking teachers and parents' lives. Going against the advice of experts.
Cringe is real.
Their argument on that one was cringe is real. What?
I have done deep research and analysis.
Oh, there's Alex.
On the so-called UFO invasion, and I can tell you the reasons that the Western deep state has decided to go with this soft launch of Project Bluebeam, and now since the early 1950s, the Pentagon has been pumping the alien invasion scenario. Only now...
It all started with Earth versus the flying saucers, and it's all been downhill since. Thanks, Harryhausen, you fucking hack.
Beginning to come to a...
I'm sorry, Ray. I'm sorry I said that about you.
Head. This is a very complex but very important issue, and if you understand this, ladies and gentlemen, well, you basically understand it all. Need more power.
I'm gonna move on because this is a completely unrelated video and it's done talking about the DNC, but it's always nice to hear from Alex the wackadoo. That's fun. Okay, this isn't DNC related, but I do need to take a look at this. It's the guy that shot up his Harley Davidson because wokeness or something.
Harley Davidson started in 1903 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This is one of the backbone companies of America. Even saying the name...
What's my definition of nice? Makes me laugh.
Harley Davidson makes you think of the American flag. It is patriotic.
You can think of me as a Cenobite of psychic damage. At a certain point, my body and mind have adapted to listening to conspiracy insanity to the point that it just makes me laugh in my head like the Joker. I'm going insane and one day I will crack. But at this point, every time I am confronted with absolute abject insanity, I like it. I'm into it now. I have sights to show you. Such sights to... Nikagami says they also tried to tell us that MAGA is about America and not Trump. So how come basically no Republicans can criticize Trump without a massive shaming attack happening and then love bombing when the offender bends the knee? Why can't literally any MAGA person acknowledge Trump as a monster and then just say they're voting for him anyway? It's because it's a cult of Trump.
But the unthinkable has happened. They've gotten a woke CEO who's trying to do everything he can to change this company, not for the better, but for their own woke agenda.
Oh my god, he used a Jeremy video! It's the quartering!
He's even moving...
Honestly, if Harley Davidson people give up on their stupid hobby, great. The noises these things make annoy the fuck out of me. Absolutely. Yeah, shoot up your stupid loud noise machines. Go for it. Toreador says, our suffering will be legendary, even in hell.
Some production to Thailand. American jobs could be lost. I was so disturbed by the news of this that I'm making this video today to prove a point that...
Freyline says Harley Davidson is dying, and now that they have removed their DEI program, they'll continue to die.
Not everybody's gonna bow down to this woke crap.
I'm gonna destroy my own property to own the libs.
The video you're about to watch is for the good of mankind. Make sure you watch to the end.
This is for the good of mankind.
You will...
Truly, what has helped mankind more than a man, for some sort of weird political reasons, shooting his own motorcycle?
Not be disappointed.
Are Harley Davidsons really $60,000? I was under the impression that motorcycles were like way cheaper than cars because they're smaller and have less parts, fewer parts. Some of them? Okay. I imagine they have low end and high end. 60s average? That's a lot. Paying for brand prestige. That's so funny because when I think of Harley Davidson, I think of like drunk Midwestern dudes like in a shed. Like I don't think about anything positive. That's interesting. $20 to $30 to $40 is standard, 60's a full touring bike. Okay, that seems like way too much for that, but whatever.
Harley Davidson. This thing is history, and it just screams America. I used to ride a motorcycle years ago. I've been so busy with my fence company, and I recently bought a Harley because I was going to get into riding again, and then I found
he recently bought this?
Out the unthinkable. I mean, literally, you know, a year ago, Ford went woke and put out a video, and I made
Ford went woke.
A video about that, and it made me sick because Ford is also an American company, but now Harley did it too. Ford redeemed themselves, though. They actually bought a Navy SEAL, a Ford Raptor, which is awesome. That's the kind of stuff we need to do. Take care of
what? Toriador says, and then those 20 to 30 to 40s are starting for various models. You're going to get another 5 to 10 for accessories and packages. Ugh.
Veterans, take care of our police department, take care of people that are Americans. Not worry about this stupid woke shit.
Does he think that, like, minority people, whether it's because of race or, like, sexual sexual orientation or gender identity, you think these are not Americans? Confused.
So for all you people that don't know what DEI is, it is the thing that's going to destroy civilization as we know it.
It's always guys like this that feel this way too, isn't it?
Diversity, equity, inclusion. Basically what that means is communism.
This company isn't discriminating against gay or black people. Is this communism?
We're going to put somebody in a...
It's not even hyperbolic, it's just wrong. Hyperbolic implies there's some semblance of truth and it's just exaggerated. This is not hyperbolic, it's just incorrect.
Position because of their race, gender, not because who's the most qualified for the job.
No, it is. It's just not disqualifying people because of their race or gender or whatever. You assume that white guys are always the most qualified for the job, which seems like that's why you have an issue.
That's crazy. I own a company. If I put people out there that are not qualified just because they fit a certain quota, how...
Yeah, the problem is that you look at people and assume this guy's qualified because he fits certain stereotypical criteria I have.
Our business is going to be successful. How are you going to do quality work? Everything is going to collapse. It's going to start at the top, work its way down, and it will reach everyone. This will be the destruction of civilization as we know it. So this CEO, this woke piece of shit, he's trying to turn all Harleys electric. That is insane. That's like destroying culture. That's like destroying...
My culture is gasoline exploding in cylinders. Isn't it literally a legal requirement by like 2030 for all new vehicles sold to be electric? Like, isn't that literally like the law that's gonna be happening at some point? Am I wrong?
History. This guy is trying to change things, not for the better, I promise you that.
Things are changing and I don't like that.
This guy's moral compass is complete.
Brain Injured Gamer says Harley Davidson screams America because nobody outside the US drives them. Any serious bike enthusiast will tell you that Harley Davidsons are overpriced, cheaply made noise machines that need more attention than a newborn.
Completely just gone. This guy supports men and women's restrooms at Target. He is literally trying to put people in place.
Okay, doesn't like trans people.
Leaders.
Shocking.
That just destroy our society with their whole woke agenda, trying to destroy everything that's normal, that's right, that's...
And this is very normal. This guy knows what normal is. A guy who can throw $60,000 away for a YouTube video. Very normal, down-to-earth, blue-collar guy, for sure. Bittergrin says, so to protest Harley going electric, he's gonna shoot a gas-filled bike? Yes. Makes sense, right?
It's Christian. I swear these woke people are run by Satan, and they are evil.
Again, we're the weird ones. He literally thinks that people he dislikes are the work of Satan!
So this woke CEO has donated millions of dollars, all kinds of woke organizations.
Sorry, Fennikagami. Fennikagami says, someone literally had their eardrums burst because some asshat with a modded bike revved next to them in a tunnel. I swear to God, why can't cops be useful and fine insecure assholes for modding their vehicles to be as loud and obnoxious as possible? I thought we had disturbing the peace laws. I feel the same way about those fucking rolling coal people who intentionally have the engines that spit out black smoke. They should be fucking arrested and their vehicle should be impounded.
He needs to worry about veterans, people who have literally sacrificed for this country. Help them out.
By doing what?
First. You want to help out some other stuff? That's fine. Give more of your money to where it counts, though. People that actually...
I'm sorry, Mr. Communist. Why do you think a private corporation's responsibility is taking care of veterans? That seems like communism to me. Toreador says, sigh, Harley is popular because they were the motorcycle they used in World War II and had a surplus afterwards. The army bikers loved them and made clubs, and that's where those old dudes on bikes in the 60s, 70s, 80s come from. They're alcoholics because they survived D-Day in Iwo Jima.
Care that have helped build America. This is American. This is normal. This is what should be happening.
I'm American. I'm very normal. I'm normal. Don't you believe me? Please believe me.
So a lot of people are saying, you know, just ignore it, just forget about it. No, that is wrong. To sit back and do nothing and to be silent and let people just destroy our country and our way of life, this is good versus evil. This woke shit, it's evil, and it is trying to destroy America and civilization as we know it.
So black people in my business? That's destroying civilization, brother. Phyllis Filler says that's also where the leather subculture came from. I wasn't aware of that. I was.
So today, I'm going to make a statement.
Has anyone seen Cruising?
Statement for good versus evil, for normality versus wokeism. We are going to show this woke CEO that not every person in this world, not every American, not even close to every American is on board with this woke piece of shit agenda. And I'm going to do this the most American way you could think of, with a big middle finger. We're going to ramble this thing with an M60. That woke piece of shit Harley I bought is now going to be target practice.
Okay, man. You bought it. You can do whatever you want with it. One less Harley in the world's probably a good thing. Fennikagami says, fun fact, Biden has improved veteran care while passing the EV bill. You can, in fact, do more than one thing at the same time. I know conservatives have brain rot, some more than one task at a time is too complicated for them.
Woke bitches, this is America!
Just reminds me of the scene in Predator where all of the macho, you know, special, whatever guys are shooting into the jungle impotently. This reminds me of that. In that moment, the point is to show that these guys who are so reliant on their macho personas, on their reliance on guns, they're impotent in the face of this, like, threat bigger than them, the Predator. And this just reminds me of that, but instead of an alien hunter from the stars, it's his imagined fear of the, quote, woke. Lazarus Faustus with 100 bits says, so are the guys with the guns and the Harleys posing in front of American flags the same guys who complain about virtue signaling? Incredibly, yes. Toreador says, that's like $200 in ammo and about $1,000 in tax stamps. Something tells me Daddy is the one that's going to be missing the money paid for that bike. Also, they hit the alien when they did that. They found blood, remember? That's true. If it bleeds, we can kill it. GamerG says, completely normal conservatives when they see a rainbow on clothing. Blink. Freyline says, Harley cannot get young people to buy their bikes. They're desperate to get people to buy their bikes before all their customers get too old or dead to buy bikes. This mentality right here is making it impossible for them to get new people into their club. At least the Yautja is hot. I appreciate that you know the actual canon name for the predator species. That's good. That's, you get an extra point of respect. That's good shit. Jamie Lynn 46 with 90 bits says, also, I often judge you for your choice and like who you find attractive. No, I get that. In terms of aliens, yeah, the Predator's pretty hot. Jamie Lynn says, in the future, when we get more electricity, like from solar power cells out in space, we may go back to using gasoline. You can make gasoline from carbon and other atoms in the atmosphere if you have enough electricity. This isn't cost effective, but gasoline is a great portable fuel source, more energy dense than batteries, also clears carbon and other things from the atmosphere, so it would be carbon neutral. Like, gasoline isn't morally evil in and of itself, it's just that we use it to the extent that it damages the environment and is causing global warming. Yeah. In the future, I could see utilities where that would still be a thing. Military vehicles, it makes sense. Utility vehicles, it makes sense. Yeah. Phyllis Filler says, you'll meet the nicest people on a Honda. The Yautja can get it. Yeah. Maybe you fall into one of his traps and all of a sudden you're hanging upside down and he takes off his mask and he's got those mandibles just clicking like right in your face. I haven't thought about this. What?
That was pretty cool for the first wave, but what's more American than one M60? Two M60.
The gun manufacturer he's using celebrates pride. Beautiful. How are you gonna shoot your guns when the guns go woke? You haven't thought about it.
These twins! Twin Rambo!
This is just, like, pathetic. Like, this doesn't even make sense. Like, you would never do this in a combat situation. It's really stupid. What's he doing? I'm pretty sure this guy has a smaller dick than me, and I've been on hormones for, like, 4 years. So that's saying something. Drone shot?
Still not satisfied yet? How about the M134? 50 rounds a second, just destroying.
Kagami says, and then the fire department shows up because he's starting a fire. Also, you can't fire machine guns just anywhere, so this guy might get arrested for this video. I would hope he got permission. Brain Injured Gamer says, John Rambo suffered PTSD and spent decades haunted by his past. Not sure why these clowns idolize him. Because they only remember Rambo 2, 3, 4, and 5. They don't remember First Blood. Or they've never seen any of the Rambo movies and their entire concept of Rambo comes from parodies in Hot Shots or UHF. Yeah, he's got a drone. He's using a drone for this. All right, we get it.
The Barrett M107, the McMillan TAC 50. These are American 50 BMGs. This is muscle. We're going to show that woke bike what's up with this.
Harold Elbelman says, this is ironically making me respect the bike for being so tough. I mean, it won't run. It just hasn't turned to mulch. I think they do actually explode it in a little bit based on the scrubbing forward preview. He showed this inanimate object that he'd put all his frustrations into. I'm sure his wife loves him. Screaming at the Radio says, and then the world was safe from the wokeness forever. Social Warlock Trey says, Macmillan isn't an American gun company. Toreador says, if he did this to an old Harley from the war, maybe the gating would stop it, but the heads on the original Harleys were like a pumpkin specifically to deflect small to medium arms fire. Needs the Hulk Hogan theme music. I am a real American. Fight for the rights of every man.
So we hit this thing with
incredibly ironic that that's his theme song.
M60s, with M134 miniguns, with 50 cal rifles. Now we're going to hit it with everything at once and finish this thing off for good. Now we're about to turn this thing into a woke s'mores bar.
A woke s'mores bar? Where do they call it a s'mores bar? It's just s'mores. Benekagami says this was so much better when Mythbusters did it, right? I can appreciate people blowing something up, I'm not gonna lie. Like, obviously what he's doing is hilarious and out of touch and weird, but I do enjoy watching stuff get blown up, that's fine. I'm an American.
Woke ass Harley, say hello to my little friends.
Oh wow, he really missed the point of Scarface. Oh no. Does he understand any movie he's ever seen? This gender reveal is taking too long. The gender is explosions. Okay, we get it. You gonna say anything else?
But I had to do it.
Did you?
It is unfortunate we had to do this. This is something I wasn't proud of, but I had to do it. Sometimes we got to stand up for things. Principles and morals have...
How did this stand up to anyone? They got your money.
Have to override something cool to buy. When these woke-ass CEOs like this one try to ruin our society, try to ruin America, we need to stand up for it. Because if you're silent, you're just as guilty. You know who to vote for in 2024.
He's doing silence is violence, but about gay and black people getting jobs. Oh my god.
Save America again. Yeah.
Y'all know how I like the jackass stuff. Next video is going to be the bloopers of this one. And trust me, you won't be disappointed. Well-fed American is a well-fed biker. This is...
Has a tramp stamp? Okay. Whatever you say, man. Let's see what we're gonna watch next. That was something.
So, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or AOC as they call her, has kind of always been a fascinating person to me just because of how radical she is and how seemingly popular she is. And I believe that people like her are a symptom of the judgment of God upon a nation.
Oh! Very normal rhetoric. Toreador says, oh lord, honey, okay, a biker with a tramp stamp. Please tell me he's got a handkerchief on somewhere.
And I'm going to prove that to you biblically. And we'll do that in today's video. Don't go away.
And the Thinking Saber Cat says, I call foul. This last video is him coping, the guy who invented the bulletproof vest. That's supposed to be copying? Did he get shot? Wait, what is this?
Where'd the weapon come from? Doctors told me that had I not have been wearing the vest, I would not have survived the 2 shots to the back. Nobody...
What in the world is this? Okay, apparently I need to save this for VHS Vault, whatever the fuck it is. Give me a sec for me to save this. Saved.
Today because... All right, guys, thank you very much for being here. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm wearing my glasses today because I'm old, and so, but anyway, but appreciate you guys very much. Go ahead and smite that like button, and all your dreams will come.
Smite that like button?
Come true. That's a...
Speaking of which, if you're on YouTube, hit the like button, please, if you want to help support the channel. Memberships, subscriptions, super chats, and bits always help support the channel. Thank you.
Fact.
Sorry I gotta do that. I find it annoying. I hate it, but you know.
So follow us on Twitter, and if you're not following us on Twitter, then you're missing the party, man. It's a pretty wild place, and go check us out there. Love to see you on there. And I want to share this video of AOC last night at the Democratic National Convention, and I want you just to listen to what this woman is saying. It's like she's unhinged, man, and it's really wild. Just check this out with me for just a moment as we watch this together.
And I, for one, am tired of hearing about how a 2-bit union buster thinks of himself as more of a patriot than the woman who fights every single day to lift working people out from under the boots of greed, trampling on our way of life. And
do you know how, like, look at those eyes.
Again, this is just gonna be another, like, dude being like, women, huh?
Look at the...
He's just doing, like, this is, like, straight up, like, late 19th century sexism, where they're like, oh, she's being hysterical. Isn't she such a shrill old maid? Like, this is, like, old-timey sexism.
Face of things that she's saying. Like, this thing is unhinged. And, like, right at the very end here, I mean, like, that's not a woman you want to leave your children with.
And of course, we're talking about leaving your children with her because she is a woman, and therefore her role is to take care of children, right? That's her only function, because that's where his brain goes.
Oh my goodness. I mean, this woman, she scares me. But here's the thing about it.
A woman who's passionate about her politics, the horror.
That scares me. Not just that she's crazy, not that she exists, not that she got elected, but that she could actually be your president.
Yeah, I'm sure she's going to run someday in the next 10, 20 years. She might even get the nomination. She might even win. That'd be fun. That would blow their brains up, wouldn't it? All the chuds.
Someday.
Are we going to watch like 40-year-old John Doyle mauled about it? Be fun.
You do realize that this Alexander Ocasio-Cortez very well, very easily could become the president of the United States. And that should frighten you. I mean, like, real bad. I want to read this verse, and we did a whole live stream on this last night, Isaiah chapter 3, about the symptoms of the judgment of God upon a nation. And in verse number 12 of Isaiah 3 is
the second you're bringing up a like religious scripture in your political discussion, you already lost. You lose. What are you doing?
Powerful chapter, and we did a whole live stream on it on our channel last night. You ought to go check it out. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up here for you. It's called Communism, and so if you want to check that out right there, Communism, go watch that. That thing is wow.
He's using the AI image that Trump made, or at least posted.
We really dissected this whole chapter together. But the Bible says here in verse number 12, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which cause thee...
So his basis for his sexism is that the Bible is sexist, therefore sexism is okay. Cool.
Thee cause...
Not cool. But it's not surprising.
Thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths. One of the signs of the judgment of God upon a nation is that God gives them women leadership. He does. And now that may sound, in the modern context of politics, that may sound sexist or some sort of demeaning ism.
It is.
Of some
It just straight up is those things.
But that's just biblical truth.
You pointed to it and you read it. That doesn't make it true, sir. You still need to give a justification more so than, look, this old book says this thing. Old books are always right. Am I right?
Happens is the only reason that children are oppressing the people and women rule is because God has taken away these things from the nation, taken away the mighty men, the men of war, the judges and prophets, the prudent.
Maybe we've had enough so-called mighty men and men of war. Maybe that's like not good, actually. Maybe that's not cool. Have you considered? Kagami says, so now the Republicans are trying to paint Walz as a liar because technically the fertility treatments he and his wife used was IUI, not IVF. IUI is typically used before IVF and doesn't face as much scrutiny because it doesn't result in terminated embryos. However, most people would conflate the two, and honestly, maybe Walz doesn't even know the difference. But either way, it's a pathetic nitpick for a man just trying to empathize with victims of the GOP. Yeah, that's a weird splitting hairs thing.
The ancient. And there's no honorable men, there's no counselors, there's no cunning artificers, eloquent orators. I mean, God, because people reject biblical truth, what happens is the first thing to go is the mighty man in society. And we have a society now that has completely demonized masculinity.
No, masculinity's fine. You just can't be a toxic asshole.
The alpha...
Those are different things.
Male, the sigma male.
The sigma male. My favorite passage from the Bible about sigma males.
Literally my entire life. I mean, I don't remember an adult figure.
So funny that these are the kind of people that get mad about, like, there being, like, neo-genders, but then here they are making up their own genders with, like, sigma alpha male. Like, that's bullshit, made-up gender shit. They know that, right? Toriadora says, leans into the mic. The sigma mayo.
Way back in my mind to even think of one. An adult male figure in some sort of popular media or TV show or something that was intelligent, that was heroic, that was not... anything short of a buffoon like a Homer Simpson type deal or an Al Bundy. God has taken away the mighty man from America.
If you're talking about pop culture, because you just brought up Homer Simpson, literally the best-selling, like, movies of the decade, of, like, the last 2 decades have been Marvel movies, which have majority been starring, like, men, like Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Hemsworth, who are depicted as masculine, strong male figures that are moral. That's just incorrect. The Mandalorian, there's another example. Like, you could pull out any number of examples from pop culture of the last 10, 20 years. He's just being obtuse. I don't know if it's intentional or not.
And because of that, we're led by a bunch of simps and a bunch of betas and
Yeah. This guy considers himself like a pastor. Holy shit. He's using the term simp and beta unironically.
And you know, when I look at this clip of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez,
And I, for one, am tired of hearing about.
okay, first of all, my masculine nature looks at that and says, this woman is annoying.
This is the one critique they have of women. We get it. We get it. You don't like women. We get it.
She sounds like cats fighting in an alley.
Again, I know you have mommy issues. Maybe work on them instead of externalizing them for everyone else to have to deal with.
Just like that just annoys me how this woman talks.
How a two-bit union buster thinks of himself as more of a patriot than the woman who fights every single day.
That grinds on my soul. Like, that is just, like, completely grates against my nature to hear that. I mean, just look at the woman. But there's not enough.
Just look at the woman. Very substantive critique, sir. This is what they have.
Men in society to say, go home. The man of war, the judge, the prophet, the prudent, the ancient, they're all gone. And so, guys, I mean, have we drifted this far in our country to where this is the face of American politics?
A non-white woman, the horror.
I mean, she's got a ton of followers. She got millions of followers on Twitter, so she's very popular. I mean, if Kamala Harris wins the presidency and
Kamala,
doesn't run for a second term,
why wouldn't she run for a second term? She probably would run for a second term. She's substantially younger than either Trump or Biden, who are about the same age.
This is what you're up against. A Latino lady who's ready.
Again, it's just grievances about race and sexism.
To fight. Scares me to death. But it's
sorry, I'm not having substantive critiques, but he isn't, so I don't know what to say about it other than, yep, here it is, laid bare, the Republican grievances. Women and minorities, bad. That's all they got. That's all they have. They're bereft of actual ideas.
Symptom of the judgment of God upon a nation, and it's very sad to see that.
I genuinely wish hell was real sometimes, specifically so people like this could realize that they were very, very wrong about their morality. It doesn't, so they're fine. They're just gonna die. But, we all do.
There's a lot I could say. I just the one thing for our new listeners who probably aren't up to speed on all the things that this channel is about, I want to tell you that a lot of things that we talk about are in the context of our Third Adam series, and we want to encourage you to go down and to the Third Adam documentaries right there on our page. Watch 1, 2, and then the third one is very important. We want you to watch that, Third Adam 3, Rise of the Divine Feminine, and you'll see that.
Apparently we need to watch those on Tinfoil Tuesday at some point. Let me find these so I can save them, because those sound conspiratorial. Christian nationalist. You get it. Doesn't have a trailer for these, does he? I wouldn't mind looking at a trailer. Occult practices in the modern church. Okay. Hold on. Let me save this. Since he brought up the Mighty Man line, I kept thinking about that song. As a mighty, mighty man, as young and I'm in my prime. Yes, I'm a mighty man. Fallout 3. Benigagami says, notice how he used the masculine Latino instead of Latina like he should have for AOC. He might genuinely just not know how to conjugate in Spanish, so I'm kind of 50-50 on whether it was some sort of weird sexist thing or he genuinely just doesn't know Spanish very well.
A lot of the satanic things that are happening today are happening at the behest of...
Satanism is when women... Toreador says, Hannah, look like I just broke 100K in cheers. That is a heck of a lot of reading dumb comments. So thank you. Next time we have a hype train, I'll show my appreciation more tangibly, but for now, anathema. Well, thank you, Toreador. I appreciate all the support. I couldn't do this show without support from people like you. So thank you.
Women. Satan hates women. God loves women. Satan hates women.
Kind of seems like you hate women.
And Satan manipulates women and weaponizes women against the church. And
when women disagree with me, it's not that I need to rethink things. It's that their minds are so weak they've been twisted by the devil. He's about 5 seconds away from declaring an actual witch hunt.
In society, and is it any real question why 70% or so of all divorces in America are filed by women?
I always find that to be such a funny statistic that, like, divorced dudes bring up, or, like, red pill men. Do you think that the person who files the divorce is the problem? Because generally, when I imagine a woman going to file for divorce, she's filing for divorce because her husband is, like, a piece of shit, or abusive, or neglectful, or, again, a piece of shit. I don't quite understand what they think the gotcha is on that. Very strange.
I think I know the answer to that. And the answer is in that documentary, Third Adam 3, Rise of the Divine Feminine. So this week's books, guys, are brought to you by the Mr. Gizmo Gospel Coloring Book. And
he sells a coloring book!
You'll like this. Get this. Use this. If you're a Sunday school teacher, you ought to get this, especially for kids. You ought to get this and use the alphabet that we got in there.
How do they all find me? How do all the craziest people find me? They all come here.
The redeemed, and how to be delivered from punishment, bondage, penalty, or distress, and how that Jesus redeemed us from the curse of the law and stuff like that. A lot of good information in there. There's victory in Jesus.
Yeah, probably a bit too far, Spokane Dogman. A little too graphic. A little too much.
Talk about that. And so go get this book. It's the link in the description below. On Amazon, you can get this. The Mr. Gizmo's Gospel Coloring Book. And I know you'll like it. This week's videos are brought to you by that. So God bless you, friend. Subscribe if you're new, and go watch Third Adam. And we'll talk to you soon. God bless you.
My goodness, that guy has over 200,000 subscribers. So that's fun. How about Terrence K. Williams? How's he doing?
On her first day...
Chitara says, delivered from bondage? Damn, Jesus, why you gotta kink shame?
In court, Kamala said 5 words that still guide her. Kamala Harris, for the people. That is something that Donald Trump will never understand. So it is no surprise, is it, that he is lying about Kamala's record. He's mocking her name and her laugh. Sounds familiar. But we have him on the run now.
He just seems mad. He just genuinely seems mad. Toreador says if this guy was a bit more poetic, he'd probably say that misandry loves company. Benikagami says, actually, now that you mention it, it's weird that they assume most women are hell to live with, but simultaneously admit that 70% of divorced men were too weak-willed to leave the woman and not put up with her shit. No, they're like weirdos that think that relationships are supposed to be a nightmare. That's like the Republican ethos is basically, dudes are in charge and women are supposed to be subservient. And shut the fuck up.
So, no matter what the polls say, we can't let up.
Girl, bye. Hillary, look, you are one miserable, W-I-T-C-H,
You miserable witch.
Okay, yeah, he is just mad.
Actually,
you're fine, Spokane Dog.
You know what? Let's leave the W out of witch, and let's replace that with a B.
You can call her a bitch. You can call Hillary Clinton a bitch.
That is exactly what you are.
I think in your case it's probably sexist, but like, whatever.
See, I wanted to be nice, Hillary, but I am sick of you. I am sick of you. And then you have the nerves to say that Trump is calling Kamala names, and woman, you literally called us deplorables.
You are, yes. The nice way to put it.
Hillary.
Thanks, Thinking Saber Cat. Appreciated. Put this over here. Oh no! Yeah, we'll watch that again. We've watched it, but if people haven't seen it, yeah, we'll watch that.
Do you not remember?
It's Derek Savage. I'm familiar.
Remember that?
Unfortunately, there he is. Cool cat likes to rock and roll. Cool cat. Nope. Not cool cat time.
Not know all the names that you have called Trump supporters? All the nasty names that you have called Donald Trump?
Famously, Donald Trump never called Hillary Clinton any names.
But now you care about him calling her name. Girl, bye. And then you have the nerves to talk about...
He's doing girl bye in 2024?
About those phony 34 convictions. We all know those convictions were straight up phony.
Oh, I'm not going to defend Hillary Clinton. I just think that Republican attacks on her are really hypocritical and pretty baseless considering the moral ground they're standing on.
And and you know what? You, Obama, and all your little crooked friends, y'all probably instructed those DAs and prosecutors to convict him. No. I bet you. Yeah. We're not dumb, okay? Hillary, you want to talk about those 34 phony convictions. Do you not remember how you deleted all those emails? Do you not remember how you deleted all those damn emails? Huh? So you the last person that should be talking.
Yet she's not convicted and Trump is. That's funny.
So shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. Go back to that bat cave, okay?
I don't get that one.
Go back to Hell, because that is exactly where you are from.
You can say hell.
Hillary, go away. You miserable. That is exactly what you are. And guess what? You will never be the president of the United States of America. Never, ever. Get over it, Hillary. Get over it. Okay? Cope. Go get a counselor, a therapist. Deal with it. Okay? Let it go. You will never be president. Donald Trump beat you. And it is what it is. It is what it is. No one wants to hear from you ever again. Okay? Not even your husband, Bill Clinton. He don't want to hear from you either. He don't even like you. We don't like you. Don't nobody like you. And that's something that you and Kamala have in common. Don't nobody like y'all. And she's just a brown version of you. Fake and phony. Full of baloney. And let's not talk about all your missing...
you already did the emails thing.
Talk about how a bunch of your friends are not even on planet Earth anymore. A lot of your friends that know stuff about what you did. Girl.
Man, he's been doing reruns. He's been doing the same goddamn jokes forever. Toreador says, I hear Hillary cut the DNC a deal and only required 2 virgin sacrifices to be summoned from her vacation home in West Hell. That's the nice part. Okay, one more video. We're going to close off today with this. This is incredibly racist. I don't know if you guys know Derek Savage. Derek Savage of Cool Cat fame. Let's see. Here he is. This is Derek Savage. Famously was in an issue of Playgirl magazine, but don't worry, no dudes read it. It's fine. It was very straight. And this is also where the "there he is" comes from. Anyway, he did this, and it's very racist. This is just blackface. I cannot warn you enough that what he does here, and this is him under the mask, it's his voice, it's Derek, this is just blackface. Alright, here it is.
Yo, 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 I'm Hood Rat, I got something to say. And listen up so we can all be clear. There's a lot of crap coming down, and I'm telling you, I'm not down. I see my city falling apart. The streets are filthy with drug addicts nodding out. The price of gas is through the roof. The cost of food will strangle you. All the stores are closing down. Where do I go to buy some food? I'm sick and tired of the politicians. Them dirty people always be lying. Those Democrats say they're here to help us, but Hood Rat says they're here to hurt us. They come for our vote every 4 years, then they disappear just like a roach. My eyes have changed and I'm seeing clearer, and Hood Rat is saying Donald Trump is the leader. Hood Rat, Hood Rat, Hood Rat for Trump. Hood Rat, Hood Rat, Hood Rat for Trump. When Trump was president, my pockets were fat. Now with Biden, they're like a balloon going flat. Hood Rat is riding with Donald J. Trump. It makes me feel free. When I became a man, I left the crack behind. Now Hood Rat wants what's right for my family. I used to avoid politics, but now we got no choice. Those Democrats always pushing it on us. I'm feeling
Yeah, this is unfortunately supposed to be music. Arizona with 100 bits says, is he trying to rap or doing spoken word? Either way, he sucks. I don't know if he knows they're different things.
Worried about World War III. It's Joe Biden's fault. He got us in this.
That's not Daddy Derek. That's clearly Hood Rat.
When Trump was president, I didn't like him. But now things have changed, and I really miss him. Hood Rat, Hood Rat, Hood Rat for Trump. Hood Rat.
He really thought this was going to be a thing, didn't he? He was trying to start a thing.
Now I'm closing this song, and I hope you got the message. Joe Biden has destroyed the economy, and we need Trump for president. Trump 2024. I'm Hood Rat, and I endorse this message. Yeah.
I just saw that there's a website, hoodratrhymes.com. hoodratraps.com. Hood Rat, the rapper that spits truth. Hood Rat's musical journey started years ago, and instead of taking the curse word road, F this and F that, Hood Rat chose to rap about things that are important, things that matter to the family. Hood Rat raps about things that people hold close to his heart. It's Hood Rat, and I want to thank all the people who are supporting my music. It's hard and confusing for some folk right now, and I want to do what I can to help. Hood Rat's here to speak the truth, and the truth will set you free. My producer, Derek Savage, has been real cool, so I hope you buy some of his content. Is he seriously trying to pretend that this is not him? It's clearly his voice! Derek has an incredibly distinctive voice, and it is clearly him. But he's pretending it's not. You know, I got nothing. I got nothing to say about it other than yikes. What else can I say but yikes? So thanks everyone for hanging out. I appreciate it. It was a fun MAGA cope stream. Well, I'm sure we'll have plenty of material to do one again soon. Tomorrow I'll be streaming again. Maybe we'll do some VHS Vault. That'll be fun. Yeah, let's see who we're gonna raid. Cassifel. We'll raid Cassifel. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening and has a great weekend if I don't see ya. Love you too, Mr. Blast. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow and Sunday, we're going to be doing patron-only live shows on top of doing the regular streams. So if you'd like to be a part of those, as well as gain access to the backlog of the previous patron-only live streams, make sure you join the Patreon as a paid member at patreon.com/HannahReloaded. Forgot my own spiel there for a second. So, see you tomorrow. Have a great night. And I don't know, do something relaxing. This has been a stressful stream. Lots of stupid bullshit.